Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, Ireland's only answer to Harry Kane, bringing you the preview and everything else you need to know for tomorrow's massive game, Tottenham versus Leicester, where we definitely want to avoid St. Totteringhams Day. But look, we're joined by some special guests tonight. And before I actually ask them how they are, I'm on a bit of a mission. I want to sign off the last preview of the season with success. The link for bobspur TV and Paxton Road is in the description below the video. My target to get Paxton Road is 300 and they're at 280 now. I want to get them to 320. And Bob is at in around 250 there. And I want to get him to, or 450, I want to get him to 500 to sign off the season with Paxton Road and bobspur TV. You, the Harris Army, you can make it happen. I have full faith and trust in you that you will make it happen. So make sure during the stream, just drop out, get over, smash and subscribe, and come straight back. But look, we'll get into it. Bob, how are you keeping, my man?
Good, nervous. Want to get excited about tomorrow's game. Don't want to get excited about tomorrow's game because I don't want to feel that down. Combination of things, mate. But big game. Yeah,
it is. And Shane from Paxton Road. A lot of people get confused, saying, "Oh, who's Shane? I want to tell people, his real name is Shane, just to let people know it's not Sam. Sam is his initials. Shane, how are you keeping, my man?
I'm very good, thank you, Dave. Very good. Actually, I'm very good today because we ain't played yet. So tomorrow might be a completely different story. So let's like I said, I've got a glass of Prosecco here, so I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Yeah, he has a glass of Prosecco and he has the Eurovision on in the background. He's enjoying life. He's absolutely loving it. Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
I'm keeping all right, but, I made a very Hitchin-like mistake and, making a purchase a little too late. And it's 90 degrees today. It's 32 degrees centigrade, and I don't have an air conditioner. So, kind of left the transfer market a little too late, and now I'm going to be overpaying. So, I'll learn about it next year, learn from these mistakes. But, I'm doing all right apart from that.
No, that's good to hear.
If you're hitching, mate, if you're hitching, you've ordered a heater.
Yeah. And I would say I don't like ordering heaters.
But look, if you see Jack just going red unnecessarily or sweating, it's because it's absolutely roasting. And he made an absolute kerfuffle by not getting the aircon in sooner. But look, let's go through a few basics. Don't forget to smash a like on the stream and subscribe on the channel if there's anyone new watching in. Feel free to grab a channel membership for the fan shows. If you enjoyed the one I done earlier, grab a channel membership. Make sure you grab a white to come on and have your say on the fan shows, or grab a gold, which includes doing a Spurs story as well. Also, don't be afraid to get your super chats in, guys. They really do help the channel grow. It really does help the Harris Army grow. It helps me getting better equipment so I can keep bringing better and better content, which I have already in place for next season. And also, it's great to share a way to share your views, your opinions, and if you have any questions for the panel. And as well, it just guarantees when the chat does hot up that we sit there and discuss your comment. These boys will stop exactly what they're talking about and we'll discuss your super chats, guys. That's the power of the super chats. And let's welcome a few people into the building as well before I start firing questions at these guys. We have Gal Judo. He wants Ian out 100%. ATX7 Gaming. Yes. Big yourself up. He says, big up David and everyone else. No, big yourself up, ATX. Stephen J. Man like David. Come on, man like Stephen. That's what I say. Tell Gel. Leave Ian out. Don't trust narcissists, super Marxists to reform anything for the people. Yeah, 100%. Tottenham team, big up, fellas. Thanks for the great content, David. No, thank you to you and the Harris Army and everybody else for tuning in, because you're the ones that keep me going and keep me doing it. I just keep seeing the numbers growing and everything else, so you guys are the ones.
Oh, big up.
We already got one subscriber for Paxton. Yeah. Aglia, she's already subscribed to bobspur TV. Yeah. We have J Games Gaming. Anybody else? Levy and Lewis out. I think we all are at this stage, my man. We have Sonia Sobers. Hello, how are you keeping, Sonia? Hope you're keeping well. Danny Kiriakou, everywhere we go. Big up, Danny, absolutely love it. We have Caleb and David's videos. Always brightens my day. Look, you guys brighten my day. just as much as a brighten your day. So it's a match made in heaven, Caleb.
Great.
We have Sonia in again. Of course, we need to win. Of course, we do. We have Hotspur has a evening,
Hotspur.
guys. Good evening. Oh, we're joined by, I would say the goal, but for me, Ronaldo's the goal. But we're joined by Messi. He says, what's up, guys? Big up. Some guy young, he wants Enoch out 100%. We also have Let's Talk Spurs, by the way, which I'm convinced is Kieran's new channel name.
Yeah,
Eric Dyer, that does be on the show. So everybody, make sure you get over to Let's Talk Spurs as well and get my man some subs. Big up, Kieran. Hope you're keeping well, my man. I don't want you starting tomorrow at centre back, but probably will happen. But if you do start, make sure you put in the clothes.
Oh, Jesus.
Get out my club.
He says, good evening, lads. What a panel on tonight. Jeez, fam.
Jeez.
Big up. We have Agnes. She says, what's Jack's channel? Didn't catch the name. No, Jack's on Twitter. He doesn't have a channel. Jack loves going around helping everybody else. But his link for his Twitter is below, along with the boys' 2 YouTube channels. Yes. So make sure you get over and follow Jack if you're on Twitter. Big up, Chris, who made his debut on the fan show. Big yourself up, Chris. Absolute pleasure speaking to you, my man. We have XFox0. We have Ronan O'Donnell in the stream. Big up, Ronan. Big yourself up. He says 2 streams one night. Unbelievable, Jeff. I'm telling you, lad. I work harder than Sky Sports News, man. I don't pump out the same thing every hour. Every hour you tune in here, it's going to be different. We have Blade in the building. Where's Marcelo? Marcelo's working, my guy. Clegg UK says, big up the panel. Had a great membership. Had a green membership, but thinking about getting a white membership. Don't know if I have the confidence. Clegg,
Clegg,
do it.
Get the white membership. Take the jump. I speak for myself, Jack, Shane, and Bob. You think any of us were confident before we started getting in front of the camera? Not a hell of it. We just turned on the camera and things took off, man. That's how it all starts. Clegg, get that white membership and come on. I will help you out and I'll get you through.
Yeah.
It'll be the easiest 10 minutes of your life. Trust me, my man. Make sure you get it. Philip Brady, absolute legend. This guy came on. Absolutely love him. I can't wait to hear his first story. Big up, Philip. He says Leicester home form is nothing special. Have a feeling they will be the biggest losers tomorrow. I hope you're right, my man. Mark Saunders is in the building. Kieran Kaise is in the building as well. We have Empty Council House. We have the pleasure of being joined by Will Stewart, guys. Yes, Will. He says, I've been in the shop since 6 p.m. Save me, David. Yeah, no, look, what you need to do is just tell the missus you lost your bank card, Will. You know what I mean? Play that old classic trick. Oh, I've lost the bank card, day's finished, I may go home. You know what I mean? That's what I say to you, man. Look, you may have to you may have to put up with no dinners for a while, but that's an option.
Or even better, Dave. Man up, mate. Man up.
There you are, Will. Bob with the hard talk. Bob is telling you to man up, Will.
He's not playing about.
Aglaya is back again. She says, David, your charm brightens all our days and nights. You're such a passion for Spurs, and say it how it is. Nah, thank you, Aglaya. And look, it's the same for all my guests as well. They all tell it how it is. And Kieran's back says, don't worry, lads. Sorting out my flights out of the country for the summer. I was hoping Rome, but just seems they don't want them. They don't want you. Yeah, no, look, to be honest with you, we'll get you off somewhere. Don't worry about that, Kieran. But look, we've so many people in. Big up. We have David as well. Great panel. Looking forward to this one. Honestly, the reception I get from you guys is insane as soon as we go live. It's absolutely madness. Another 160 is back in already with inside 8 minutes. It's insane. Like I said, just quickly before I do get into questions, I am on a campaign. I want to show people the power of the Harris Army. You guys have done it before. Bobspur TV, we want to get him to 500 subs to sign off the season. And we also have Shane from Paxton. I've already explained the name, so don't tell me I'm getting it wrong. By the way, I've already explained the name thing. But for Shane from Paxton, make sure you get over and subscribe to them as well. We want to get them to 320 subs to sign off a successful season over here at the Irish Hotspur. And you, the Harris Army, have the power to make it happen. The links is in the description below, so you don't even have to go type it in. So why not just click on it, smash your sub on their channels and come back. It's so easy. And, of course, don't forget to get in your super chats. But, look, we'll get into it. So, of course, look, we're playing away at the King Power Stadium. Kickoff is at 4 p.m. Come and join me on the pre-match pump-up when we are Tottenham TV from 2:30 p.m. where I bring you right through to their watch-along and right through to the post-match show. It's a great show. I usually get joined by Bob, by Jack, by Brian Dagan and many others. So make sure you tune in. The game is live on Sky Sports and Anthony Taylor is the man in the middle. But look, Bob, What are you expecting from tomorrow's game? Do you expect Tottenham to turn up? Especially after the shit we had to watch against Villa.
That's all it's going to be, mate, isn't it? It's going to be a combination of things. It's going to be the fact that he's on about BJ. Yeah, it all depends. Obviously, Aston Villa were non-existent. Harry Kane leaving, allegedly. It looks like it. The fact that the FA Cup's going to be paraded right in front of their very eyes, in front of a Leicester team. But it's a must-win game. When I think about, thinking back, at least we won, the must-win game against Arsenal. Oh no, we didn't win that. At least we won the must-win game against Zagreb. No, we didn't win that as well. At least we won the must-win game against Man City in the cup. Oh no, fuck that one up as well. At least we won the Liverpool game. We went in there with. Oh no, fuck, we didn't win that as well. At least, sorry, no. I don't know. It's a must-win game, so you know what's going to happen.
No, 100%. It's must-win. And later on in the show, I'll be going through the permutations and why it's a must-win and stuff like that. But look, Leicester have won 2 of the last 3 games versus Spurs. Leicester have also failed to win any of their previous closing Premier League games in their last 5 seasons. Spurs have only failed to score one of the last 4 in one of the last 14 Premier League away games v Leicester. Spurs have lost one in their last of the last Premier League closing games in the last 10 seasons, and that was the 5-1 under against Newcastle under Pochettino. And Leicester have spent the longest amount of time in top 4 than any other team, and now they're out of it, and they come to Tottenham needing a win and hoping Liverpool and or Chelsea drop points. Just a quick bit of team news as well. Tanganga, he is out with ligament damage in his ankle. Ben Davies is out with a calf injury, returning to light training this week. For Leicester, Harvey Barnes is out with a knee injury. James Justin is out with a knee injury. Evans is out with his foot. And Senga Under is also out. But look, we'll go to Shane first with this one. So with Tanganga being out at right back, it's either Doherty or a return for Aurier, or a return for one of them. Who would you rather see at right back and why?
Bloody hell. Lesser of two evils. What do you do with that situation? Okay, Doherty, whatever you want to call him, he's been shocking. Absolutely shocking. Aurier, again, a player that leaves at half-time and pisses off and does what he does. We shouldn't be having him in our squad. You should be having him 100%. In our team. But we've got 100%. To. Tanganga, I thought he played well his last game, and it was very unfortunate to get the injury. But if you're putting me on the spot here, I'm going to say Aurier, just because of the fact that I think we're going to need a bit of pace. I think we're going to need to be very much on the counter-attack, and I think he's probably best placed as an attacking fullback to do more than someone like Doherty. I think we're going to have to be on the counter-attack tomorrow. I can see us having a Jose-type performance, just without the Jose type of ability, if you know what I'm saying. Because Ryan Mason, if he picks certain players tomorrow, it is going to be a travesty. And the likes of number 8, he cannot be in that team tomorrow. If he's in the middle of that pitch with Højbjerg and Dele, we've got no pace in midfield. I was saying this earlier. If we've got them 3, there's no pace, so we can't counter-attack anyway. So I just hope that they put the players in. And like I said, going back to the right-back position, Aurier. I'm going Aurier. Sorry, I was getting a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, this is what Spurs do.
Don't you think, though, Sam? Aurier's been available last few games, but there's been a lot of rumours, concrete rumours, that he'll be going to PSG. Do you think, mate, that Levy might say, "Sorry, Mason, my child, you're not allowed to. You can't pick Aurier." That's the thing, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, this is my biggest fear, that Mason's not actually picking the team. Daniel Levy is telling him, "I want you to play this player, to put him in the shop window. I want you to play," because there's no way on earth that you'd continue to play number 15 at centre-back. There's no way you continue to play number 8 in midfield if for no other reason just to get him in the shop window. I know Dele's, he's had a couple of good games, but again, he's just not there for me. Considering what Moore was doing all that time in that number 10 position, and he was hurting defences. I just don't see how they're going to... I just don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
With Dele Alli, to be honest with you, every time I see him run, I'm expecting to see zookeepers running after him, trying to get that fucking spider off his head. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Seriously.
A disgrace. A disgrace. God. But that's a good point that Bob's actually made there about, the rumours about Aurier being touted to leave. So, Jack, does that mean Doherty is starting at right back tomorrow? And actually, before I let you answer, sorry, Danny Kiriaka with the super chat. He says, "Will get your cousin BJ on, please. More fun." Yeah, I've seen that clip. To me, he actually looked like one of the members of the Beatles with the wig on.
Yeah, he actually looked better.
He did.
Will actually look
So
better.
he did. But big up for the super chat, Danny. Everyone else, get your super chats in. But Jack, so does that mean we're going to see Doherty tomorrow?
Yeah, Doherty came on as a sub, so it would make sense. Was Aurier even in the squad in that previous match? I don't think he was, so I think it would make most sense to have. Doesn't make the most sense to put Doherty in. It is the lesser of two evils, as Shane said, but I don't even know which one is really better, to be honest. But I think if we're wanted to predict who it's going to be Doherty.
Saying that, though, Jack, if we've got to win a game, who would you rather have at right back? I'll ask you that question.
Oh yeah.
Out of the two, Doherty or Aurier, if you've got to win a game.
If you look at Aurier's last game versus Leicester, I think I probably would throw Doherty in this one. He was a disaster last time against Leicester. He had the whole right hand side of the pitch free, and he done nothing.
I think Aurier's highs are much higher than Doherty's highs, but his lows are, I think, actually lower than Doherty's lows. So it really is kind of like, I think Aurier is just a better player in every way, but he is so more capable of a huge mistake and a huge error that doesn't reflect sometimes even when he's playing well. So, I mean, he's too much of a risk sometimes. And it is kind of a shame because sometimes he has these great moments and then he'll have 20 minutes of the worst football you've ever seen right after that. And it's, it's honestly, it's too much at this point. You might as well just go with the example of mediocrity that is Doherty.
We're going to go with mediocrity tomorrow, no doubt.
We've got season of mediocrity next season, haven't we, guys?
Yeah, we do. Unfortunately, big up, Sue. But Bob, Doherty at right back, I suppose now.
Yeah,
I
do think that, mate. I do think that. I think it's not just for one game. It's not worth putting Aurier in there, getting injured, and who knows? The dots have been signed and sealed for PSG, like Seth's just said. So I reckon Aurier is all set to go to PSG. Levy and Mason won't want to risk it, getting him injured. So I believe it will. Hey, who knows? He might even get the guts and put Lavinia out there for a bit, but very unlikely. Very unlikely. Yeah. So, Doherty, and like Jack said, he did come on for Tanganga when he got injured, matey. So, I think Doherty's going to play. Well, who I'd prefer? Aurier, of course, like Sam. Shane said. It's going to be hard for me. I'm going to have to call him Sam. But I agree with Sam. For me, it'd be Aurier, of course. 2 assists in his game recently against Sheffield United. But so he can do something in games, but I think Doherty will play.
Yeah, 100%. It's looking like that. But if Lavinia does start tomorrow, Bob called it first, so everybody remember that. Look back now on to what Shane was saying is, who do you stick in beside Højbjerg? Because for me, you've Tielemans there and you've Ndidi, who more likely play for them tomorrow. 2 great midfielders. Tielemans is very, very good. He's very good on the ball. He gets stuck in and he's mobile. And Diddy, just a workhorse. Again, very good on the ball. Brilliant. Very mobile and gets stuck in. So, for me, Harry Winks cannot play. Harry stinks. Look, anyone that makes any more excuses for this, guys, after that last performance against Aston Villa, honestly, I'm just going to start calling you an Arsenal fan. I'm not even going to attempt to try and change your mind anymore. I'm just going to call you an Arsenal fan because you cannot defend the guy anymore. But Lo Celso's no better. For me, I think he's just a younger version of Lamela. Again, when you ran the ball out against Leeds, I was expecting us to line up like a rugby throw-in, because, I thought that's what he thought he was playing at times. And then you have Endom Burgers, who people say is press resistant. For me, he's salad resistant because he's been here 2 years and he can't get fit. But it's like picking the best out of a bad bunch at the minute. For me, out of that bunch, I would put Endom Belly in. But guys, who would you go on? We'll start with Bob, but before we do, we have a super chat here from Awesome All we have to read. And he says, I said this time and time over that Levy is the manager. Levy chooses the team, even when Josie was the manager in charge. It is sad what we are debating. No, look, certainly since Mason come in, I think every Spurs fan is on that Awesome All that, Daniel Levy is picking the team. 100% he's picking the team. When Josie was there, To be honest, I don't believe he's picking the team over Jose Mourinho. Look, Jose Mourinho was he was trying to get the best out of a bad bunch of players. And Kane's interview, actually, which we will touch on a bit later on, kind of revealed a lot in the sense of what's going on if you read between the lines. But big up Asamoah. To be honest with you, it is sad what we're debating. Like right now, after looking where we were at, we should be sitting here delighted we're sitting in top 4 with a Carabao Cup under our shoulders, going into a Europa League final. So I agree with you, Asamoah. It is sad, but look, we're Spurs content creators at the day, and we have to talk about what we have to talk about. But big up Asamoah for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, and I love listening to you when you come on Will's channel as well, man. You're very insightful. Everyone else, follow Asamoah and Danny Kiriakou is leading. Get your super chats in, get your opinions in, and get your questions in for the panel. But Bob, like I was saying, end on burgers, Lo Celso, or Harry Shits.
Yeah. Is it a sad state of affairs that we can't wait to get a skip back? A 20-odd-year-old youngster. He'd be ideal in a game tomorrow alongside Højbjerg. But for me, it has to be Ndombele. Out of the shit show, shit collection we've got, he is the best. Even if we get 70 odd minutes out of him, he can do a job. What worries me is obviously, like you say, the quality of Leicester's midfield and how they can counter press, not only press but counter press. And do they have the legs? I don't think any of our midfielders have the legs. But so I think tomorrow, if he's really got something about him, attack will be our best form of defence tomorrow. And for me, the midfield has to be Højbjerg, Ndombele and Lucas in the number 10. That has to be it. And just go for it. Nothing to lose. It's a must-win game. If we don't win, if we draw or lose, it's very likely that the scum are going to finish above us. So it's a must-win. And just go for it. Just fucking go for it. Last game of the season. Unfortunately, it looks unlikely. Yeah.
No, I would agree. Shane, out of them 3 players, who are you putting in beside Pierre?
He loves Winks. He loves Winks.
Winks is my favourite. He is. Oh, bloody hell. But just going back to
Trust me, if Winks was his favourite player, he wouldn't be on my panel.
We never go for it. This is the point with Spurs. We're saying that we want them to go for it. We want them to do this. When have they gone for it at any point this season? I don't remember a game. Apart from that Man United game where we didn't actually go for it. They had a man sent off. So we had to actually just take advantage of that. We've never actually really gone for it. We score goals early.
Palace second half back. Probably so, isn't it?
Yeah,
but even then,
Palace.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's Palace.
Exactly.
Come on now. We score goals early. We've been scoring goals. We've got like really high number of goals scored in the first 15 minutes, whatever it is, and then it all goes pear-shaped. As soon as a team gets an equaliser, it seems that the energy drops out of these players. We need tomorrow in that midfield. We need players that are going to be able to deal with the press, as Bob was saying, that Leicester are going to put you under. They are going to want to actually get the ball as quickly as possible. Yeah. They're going to have 10,000 fans in their stadium revving them on. So the players are going to have that extra 5% of energy. They're going to be throwing in the tackles. They're going to be getting as close to players. So you want players that can deal with that pressure. Not really many of our players can do it. I like Højbjerg, I like Ndombele, and I like Lo Celso. But I don't want to see Lo Celso playing in the 10 because I don't think he's the right fit at this moment in time. I want to see more in that 10. Yep. If you give me a choice between the 2 and the double pivot, it's going to be out of Højbjerg. I'm probably going to go with Ndombele. The reason being, I think he's probably the best at resisting the press. What I mean by that, he can get the ball, get past the player, and then play the ball.
He can take about 2 or 3 players out, can't he, Sam, as well?
Yeah.
In one go.
What he's been doing, he's been holding on to the ball for too long. So what happens is he gets past the player, does a little fancy thing, the same what Dele Alli does. He's just a better version of Dele Alli at it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They both want to do playground football. And sometimes you've got to do the simple things, get past your player and play the ball forward. And this is what we haven't been doing. We're just not playing the ball in forward passes. Harry Stinks plays sideways, plays backwards. We need forward passing tomorrow, and we've got to have urgency.
Absolutely.
Most 100% urgency tomorrow.
100%, mate. 100%.
100%. Jack, what's your feelings, man, on the midfield partnership?
Yeah, I think it has to be Tanguy. Like Shane had said, I mean, he's simply the best at being able to break the press. He has the best potential to be able to break a press, a high pressure, a team that wants it more than us. I mean, even if he doesn't want it as much, he's just simply quality enough to be able to beat any player he wants when he is feeling it. And even when he doesn't seem to be feeling it, he can still just get by a player and play an easy ball. And Tanguy is the most logical solution, but I hate to inform everybody. I really don't think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be Gio. I think Harry Stinks had really that poor of a game that I really don't see Ryan Mason playing him again, but I think he's going to put Gio there, and I think he's going to put Dele again at the number 10. I agree with you guys, though. I mean, it should be Lucas. It's always should have been Lucas. He's deserved it more than others. He's had the best output from that position than others. He works harder in that position than others. I mean, he just checks every box. The only thing he doesn't check is, right, he doesn't have as many of the playground tricks sometimes in that position, but he makes up for it in every other way. And that being said, though, I really think it's going to be Højbjerg, Gio, and Dele. Sadly, that's the Ryan Mason fraternity.
I'd love to see, if it was possible, to have Bale in the team and Moore in the team, so they could probably interchange. One of them could get out to the right and then come into the middle, and vice versa. Because I think Bale, if given the opportunity to play in the 10, that'd be ideal for him, because he doesn't have to work too much going backwards, but he can do what Bale does in that forward area. And we're going to need quality tomorrow. Let's not get it twisted. We are going to need some quality in the play. We can't just expect to just go out there and gung-ho, effort, because Leicester are a quality team. So we're going to have to match some of their quality and some of their intensity. And you've got someone like Gareth Bale, potentially could be his last game for Spurs. Surely put him out there. Gareth, go and do it for us. Show everybody what you're about. That's how I would look at it. But we'll see.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to hand this one off to Jack quickly. We'll let Jack take this answer from Hotspur Hazard, because Jack, he knows so many players, so this one is on him. Will Stewart, I think you said you sent one in a super chat, and I didn't read it. I'm not sure. Look, if you did, and I've missed it, man, just put into the in the comment section what I was supposed to say, and I'll read it out, my man. But Jack, Hotspur Hazard says, what 3 players would you want to buy?
I think we got to at least put 2 center backs in. So I'm going to take what Kieran has said. Apparently, Sven Botman has been rated by Jose Font as the best player he's ever played in next, and Jose Font has played against some pretty incredible defenders. So Sven Botman maybe is a bit matching the hype, so to speak, that everyone is giving him. So I would actually go for Sven Botman, and then I would go for Nikola Milenkovic as the other center back from Fiorentina. He's like 6'6". He has more aerial wins than any other center back, I believe, in Serie A, and we need somebody that can win a header, for Christ's sake. And then on top of that, I mean, if Harry Kane leaves, I guess we need a striker. I mean, that's what's tough, is that we're going to need a lot more than 3. But let's say Harry Kane leaves, I would go for, just to keep my itch preference, I'm going to go for Dusan Vlahovic, also from Fiorentina, the very tall 6'3" or 4" striker from Serbia. He has 23 goals in Serie A, and he wins a ton of headers. Big man up front. It's kind of the classic number 9 that maybe we need if Harry leaves.
Yeah, brilliant. So there you are, Hotspur Hazard. Thank you so much for the super chat, for the question, my man. Paul Mansbridge says, Winks has a hair appointment. Yeah, judging by how close he was to Jack Grealish the other day, Jack Grealish probably booked him in with his hairdresser. Him and Dele, the 2 of them fangirling. Oh, Jack, can I come round this weekend, plait your hair after the game? You know what I mean? It's absolute bullshit. What went on there. Anytime Jack Grealish bought a foul off him or skinned him, you seen Harry Winks running up the side and smiling. Oh, Jack, you done me again. Come on now, stop it, Jack. You know what I mean? He's an absolute idiot. Just 2-foot the lad so he doesn't do it again. It's that simple. You know what I mean? It's that simple, for fuck's sake. But lads, out on the right wing, are we going with Stevie Bergwijn to start again after him scoring, or are we going to throw Gareth Bale back in out there?
I'll go on this. Do you want to go first?
No, Sam, you go, mate.
No fighting now, lads. One at a time.
No, we're not fighters. For me, personally, I think Bergwijn did okay. He wasn't great. He scored a decent goal. He works hard, but he's got pace. He's got more pace than Dele Alli. But I would like to see, if I'm honest with you, I'd want to see Bale and Moura play. The reason for what I've just mentioned before, if you can put Bale to switch between that right-hand side and also in that number 10, it gives you a good option, because Moura can play both those positions as well. Moura starting off in the number 10, Gareth Bale starting off on the left, on the right. The problem having Gareth Bale at any point is if Leicester are overrunning us and we need someone to be tracking back. The best person to be tracking back of the 2 is going to be Moura. And if you're going to put Steven Bergwijn in, he's going to be probably better than both of them 2 anyway, because I think he's really good at getting back. So it's a real conundrum there. Is who do you play for that reason. You've got to think of how the game's going to pan out. In my opinion, Leicester are going to go for it, and we're going to play a counter-attacking game. So for that reason, we need to have as much pace in the team as possible. So that being said, I'd take Gareth Bale out. I'd put Stevie Berg on the right and put more in the number 10. Then let's pace all around, and you can do what you want. You can bring Gareth Bale on in the second half or whatever if you need to get a goal.
Yeah, look, so you're going with Gareth Bale in the 10 and Lucas Moura out on the right?
No, I'm going with Stephen Berg on the right, and I'm going with Lucas Moura in the 10.
In the 10. So you're dropping Gareth Bale?
Yeah. I don't want
to,
but the reason being is because I think that we're not going to have as much of the ball, and we're going to probably have to do a counter-attacking style of play. And I just don't know if Gareth Bale wants to do that. We've seen him track back and he can do it, but I don't know if he wants to do it. The last game of the season, what's he going to have to prove to us? He's going back to Real Madrid at the end of the day. He's still going to get his £650,000 a week. So what does he really care? Do you know what I'm saying? He's not really got anything to give to us. The other two, I think they're playing for their futures. I think Bergwijn's playing for his future, and I think Moura's playing for his future. So I would expect those two to maybe put in a little bit more effort to show the next manager coming in they're worth keeping.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's a great comment there, Shane. And Will Stewart with a super chat. Sorry, Will, I did miss it, man. I literally did only see Danny's, man. I'm sorry about that. He says, I said BJ is in the slammer. Cody ratted him out. And for the $2 super chat. Big up, Will. I really do appreciate it, guys. Will, it was absolutely comical, but honestly, I thought you looked more like one of the Beatles, being honest with you, my man. I really did. But look, honestly, big up, Will. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. And everyone else, follow suit. Like I said, questions for the panel, thoughts, opinions, whatever it is. Or even if you just want to support the Irish Hotspur and the Harris Army going forward, don't be afraid to get in your super chats. Bob, who do you want to see on the right tomorrow? Bergwijn, Bale, or Lucas, or even Lamella, actually? Even Lamella might be thrown in because shot window and all that. You know what I mean?
No, what one game ain't going to affect his valuation, mate? Fuck that.
His valuation's at 0. So,
I agree. I agree with Sam. I think it will be injustice if Bergwijn's dropped. It's an important game tomorrow, Dave. It's against a good team, and it's a must-win. And whenever Bale has played in one of those games, he's failed to turn up. The best team he's scored against this season is Southampton. Apart from that, it's all been pretty average and poor. No, it's a must-win game against a good team, and Bale has failed to turn up in any of them. And I know what the counter-argument is. Yeah, but no one's turned up. Everyone's been poor in those games. No. When all my team, all the players are crap, or majority of them are, a man who's on £250,000 a week, I expect to fucking turn it around. I expect him to say, right, guys, watch this. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to pull you through. I'm going to show you how it's done. Not be the first one to go off as sub. No, mate. He's not done it for me. I can't. It was great to see him in the Spurs shirt again, but for me, no chance. I'll be really disappointed if we spent $250,000 again per week on his wages, where potentially that could be 2 players worth. Yeah. Or a fantastic defender's worth. So, no, he hasn't done it for me. Unfortunately, in my eyes, it's been a failure. Stats, I know what stats say, but they're so deceiving. No, for me, unfortunately, Bale's been a massive letdown.
Yeah, no,
my opinion.
No. Look, I agree. For me, it's been one of them things. I've been flip flopping from week to week. But when you do look on the whole thing, we didn't look. Let's cut the crap, right? We didn't bring him in to score against Sheffield United and already relegated team. Laboro. We brought him in to make a difference in the big games, and he hasn't done it. So do you know what? Actually, you're witnessing it first. Me and Bobspur are agreeing on something, man. You're witnessing it first. It's absolutely insane out here. You know, this is what Tottenham are doing to us. They're getting the likes of me and Bob to agree with each other.
There you go.
Look, there is 247 people watching, so I am going to take this opportunity again. I told people before, I know some people are probably sick of it, more and more people keep tuning in. I am on a campaign. I want to be able to help Bobspur get to 500 subs before the end of the season. He deserves it. So if you really could, I'd love you to be able to go and smash and subscribe on Bobspur TV. The link is in the description below the video. Same as Paxton Road, another great channel. three guys grinding away just as hard as bobspur. Make sure I want to get them to 320. They're on 280. I want to get them to 320 subs. So make sure you get over to Paxton Road TV if you like what Shane has to say as well. He's here representing today. So make sure you get over and smash and subscribe on Paxton Road TV as well and help these guys on their journey, because I won't end the stream today until Bob has 500 and Paxton Road has 320. So rather than me have to sit here for half an hour, it would be much easier if you guys could just dip in and out and get the numbers up and get it done. We have two super chats. Just quickly, random account here says I play Bergwijn over Son and Lamella at number 10 and Bale on the right. So he's dropping Son. So Will, he's kind of random account here is giving you a double whammy. He wants Lucas in number 10 and he wants to drop Son. Will, let us know what you think about that. Before we get Jack's answer, lads, we have two super chats there. I just need to get to quickly. We have the Russian Bear. Loving the show. Stay safe, lads. Big up, Russian Bear. Absolute generous man. New channel member, by the way. Don't forget, I did see that. I gave you a shout out at the start of the fan show. Russian Bear, I want to see you on the next one. No excuses, my man. But thank you for the super chat, and I really do appreciate it, man. What a legend! You really don't understand how much you are helping the channel, my man. And then we have a super chat here from Awesome Maw. Awesome, you're reading my mind, actually. So what I'll do is I'm going to get Jack's next question, and then I'll read out your super chat because it is kind of along the lines of my next question. So, Jack, Bergwijn or Bale on the right, man?
Yeah, I think Shane and Bob raised really good points. I mean, originally I was thinking that, it's potentially Bale's last game. He might want to get something out of it. But Shane and Bob both raised very good points about, Bale has not come through in the games that we've needed him against quality opposition. In fact, he seems to love to beat up on the smaller opposition, the weaker foes, and get his hat trick, and then we all praise him, and then the next week he plays a quality team, and then the cycle repeats itself. And that being said, also I think Bergwijn had a much better game than even though we all praised him, I think he really had a much better game than people even gave him, because he was literally the only man out there that was in some way, shape, or form putting out for the badge. The fact he even got subbed off early is a crime, because he was the best player on the
first
pitch.
Jack. He got subbed first, which is
early being the first. Yeah,
heinous crime.
It's ridiculous. It's absolute crime. And also, what I even noticed that I've noticed this before in his game, but I think especially this game because there was nobody helping him. There's nobody willing to make runs for him. But if you notice, he's actually a lot stronger than we think. Like the way he's able to hold up the ball, even sometimes he holds it up like a striker in certain moments, where he's able to actually shield defenders and wait for somebody to come on and take the ball off of him. And he really is, actually, I think, trying to fight and prove his worth. And so, like you guys said, I think he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. And in the beginning of the game, when Leicester are going to be putting us under pressure, when we're not going to have maybe the ball as much, and we're going to need our players to be working together, there's really no better two than Lucas or Steven.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a great point, Jack. So, Jack, you're going with Bergwijn on the right tomorrow.
I would go, I'm piggybacking off of Shane's and Bob's beautiful comments about it. I really am. I would absolutely. Originally, I was thinking, it should be Bale.
Jack's looking for a role on your channels, lads.
I'm not. They're feeding me. It's good going last. I can feed off of you guys. But yeah, I think it's true. I think Bale, he hasn't shown up in these games where we need him, and it's too much of a risk. He's honestly better when he comes off in the second half. Even against good teams, that's when he seems to show up. Is just coming on in the second half. So you might as well just start someone who's going to start strong, who's going to work hard for the team at least, and that would be Steven.
Yeah, 100%. And look, guys, I see the numbers keep dipping up and down, bumping up and down. I hope that is the case, that you are going over to the channels. So, lads, while I read out these super chats, if you could check your channels to see if we're getting any close to the targets, that'd be fantastic. Awesome. All says here, I will play a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-3 diamond with Dyer, Toby, and Roden, and then the middle is Reggie, Højbjerg, Bergwijn, Aurier, and then up front Kane, Scarlett, Son. Thoughts? Look, awesome. I'll be off for playing Scarlett, but for me, man, we have to win tomorrow. I don't want St. Tottenham's Day happening, and if West Ham fuck up, I know it's a slim chance, but if they fuck up, we need to be there and take that chance to get into Europa League next season. Exposing Toby, Roden, and Dyer as a back three. I wouldn't be. Look, if Roden was in the middle of them, and kind of played a bit deeper with him, you might get away with it because he's good at reading the game. But Toby and Dyer will be exposed by Ian Natcho and Vardy's pace all day long, my man. In terms of Reggie and Aurier, yeah, I'd agree. Berg, fine. Yeah, 100%. I'd like to see them play in Kane and Son. But there's my thoughts, Asamoah. Let me know whether you agree or not, my man. And then Nigel Gates here says, don't you think Kane saying he wanted to move on with only a few games left was kind of classless? And Nigel, I will touch on that. I just want to ask the boys one more question, Nigel, and I'm going to touch on your super chat. So big up Nigel for the super chat, and big up Asamoah. I really do appreciate it. And everyone else, keep getting in your super chats, guys. It really does help the channel. I can't express it enough. But before I ask the next question, lads, any change on the subs? On your
in
channels?
terms of who's coming on?
No, subscribers on your channel.
Them subs. I can give you yet. Go on, Bob. Go on. I'll have a look.
Yeah. You have a look, mate. I can't. I'm on. Well, Tammy's on the laptop, so
Jack,
she's busy with that.
Jack, have you been checking them?
287
check them out.
287 for Paxton Road. I'm going to check bobspur whilst I'm here as well. So 287.
So we've got 7 for Paxton.
Just refresh this. Still 450. Still
I see Bob at 450.
Still 450. Hold on. I got 3. I was on 4.
Come on, guys. No, look. People, do you know what it is? People just want to see me sitting here at the end, and then they'll go over and do it. I know what it is. Because we're producing such great content, they don't want to leave. But guys, you know the mission.
Paxton
we need
Road
to get 500 subs for Bob, and we need to get 320 for Paxton Road. So make sure, just keep popping in and out, and making sure you get over to Paxton Road TV and Bobspur TV, and smash or subscribe on the channels. Well, lads, last kind of question on like sort of team news and how we should kind of line up. And it's along the lines of Asamoah's super chat. What way would you set up? Do you think we should just go for a 4-2-3-1? Or do you think we should go for a 4-3-3 and put bodies in and around the middle? Because for me, if you stop Tielemans and Diddy, you will stop Leicester. And they're very mobile and they get stuck in. So put an extra body in around there and make life miserable for them. But we'll start with Bob and work our way around again. Bob, what way would you set up?
I think either, mate, 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, no matter what, we need those numbers, like you keep on saying, in midfield, because they do have a strong midfield. So even if we pay, now what Lucas gives us, rather than Ali, is Lucas gives us a press, but he also can track back into midfield, and he can make a new system. The amount of times we've seen him go back into midfield, winning balls, and then carrying on with the ball. Well, I've said a number of times, Ali does press, but he presses, then he loses it. Because he doesn't have that ability to pick the ball up and run with it. And Mora, for me, especially in the last couple of months, is always taking players on from the right, left, 10, midfield. So I think he'll just give us a bit more stability and a bit more muscle in midfield. Hence the reason I want to see Mora play, because he can play that number 10 effectively. But when he does come back, he does make a difference as well. So 4-2-3-1/4-3-3. And the key person in all of that, I believe, is Mora, who can move back and leave the 3 in Bergwijn, Sonny and Kane as a 3. So yeah.
So like 4-3-3 out of possession basically is what you're saying, and then in possession 2. 100%. I'll go along the lines with that. Lucas, look, he's very busy in the middle, so he'd be perfect to get in and around there. I want to say a big up, Mr. House. How you keeping, my man? Shane. What way would you line up tomorrow?
So, with football, in terms of attacking, that's usually fluid. So whether they set up on paper as a 4-2-3-1 or 4-1-2-3, whatever you want to call it, is pretty much flexible. It's fluid. It should be, because that's how football's played. If you're attacking, players drop in, players change, interchange, all the rest of it. Defensive shape, that's where you need to have some sort of compactness. You need to have a degree of shape. So you probably drop back into a 4-4-2. Leicester effectively will play a 4-4-2, maybe a 4-4-1-1. So we only really need to have 2 players in and around them to match their energy. It's matching their energy that's going to be the problem. If we play a 4-2-3-1, we should, if we play the right players, we'll have Højbjerg, let's say Lo Celso next to him, and then you'll have possibly a spare man in Mora to pick up the ball. And this is the point. If Mora is almost like that spare man that can do a bit of job to get into the midfield, picks the ball up, turns and runs with it, they should be straight onto the back 4, because that's how Leicester play, 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1. The problem we've got is, can we match the energy with our two against their two? Indeed, Tielemans against, let's say, Højbjerg and Lo Celso. I'm not quite so sure. So I think Jack touched on it. We might need to get an extra play, which needs to be more in and around them, just to be busy, just to outnumber them 3-2. But as soon as he can get the ball, he needs to be the one that drives on them. He needs to be the one that goes forward with the ball at their back four, create problems, and then at least see what happens. Because if we don't do that tomorrow, we've got no hope of scoring, because I think Leicester are going to be better on the ball than us, because their players are better than us currently, not on paper, but where they are in the table obviously suggests that. Yeah. But it's all about the attitude of these players towards getting to the ball as quickly as possible. If they stand off and let them play, they will play around us and they will get the ball into their front two. And we all know our defense is the weakest link of any of our group of players. So we can't afford to let Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy be running that bloody Dyer and Alderweireld, because it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. So we're just going to have to match the energy, potentially have the extra person in that 10, which will be more. And if he gets the ball, then he can drive at the players and cause them problems.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, spot on. Spot on. And Jack, yourself, what's your thoughts, man? Then I have a couple of super chats to get to.
We've struggled. I think we've only had one game where we've done like a 3 in the back successfully. I think when you have a 3 in the back as your defensive shape, like what you have to stay compact in, we don't really have a lot of training in that. And I don't see Ryan Mason really being as, I mean, no offense to him, as philosophical or as smart of a manager to be able to coach the team into that. So that being said, I would say we're kind of stuck with some sort of shape of the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3. It would be nice to run 3 in the back, but I just don't think we're capable of it. And so, it's got to be 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Like Shane and Bob said, you have to match the energy. Tielemans and Ndidi are absolutely basically the best defensive midfield pairing, maybe in the Premier League outside, the classic top clubs. I mean, they're better than Man United's, better than Liverpool's at the moment. They really are quality. And so, like Shane said, I mean, if we take them out of the game, or if we make them struggle with some type of number 10 that can put pressure on them, I mean, that's our best shot. Yeah,
100%. Just a couple of things to get through here quickly. Rowan O'Donnell says, get Irish Hotspur on bobspur TV and Paxton TV as well. New subscribers, and get Jack a new heater. We have Danny Kiriakou with a question. Danny, I will answer your question. Don't worry, my man. I have seen it. I'll get your question in quick enough there, Danny. We also had a chat there from someone asking me, do I think 150 million Kane is enough to rebuild this whole team? Of course it's not, man. It's nowhere near enough to rebuild this team, my guy. But we're going to go on to Nigel's Gate super chat here, and then we have one from Spandan Samaran as well that we'll get to. But Nigel Gates, it was the super chat he sent in. He says, do you think Kane saying he wanted to move with only a few games less was kind of classless? Look, Nigel, on that, for me, look, it's poor timing, right? It's poor timing. But at the end of the day, what sounds like to me is this interview was done a while ago. Since then, he went to Levy. He didn't like what Levy had told him. For me, I think Levy's probably said to him, look, you're sticking around regardless. And, then obviously, I'd say Kane's brother went to Sky Sports and says, look, Kane's after asking to leave today. They've put it out. Then Gary Neville team drops. It's all a bit circumstantial to me and everything else. But is it classless? Yeah, I would say it is. But at the same time, if you're Harry Kane, it could be, if it's in a view of maybe trying to get Levy to change his business model and give him a kick up the arse and get players in, maybe it's right timing. But I can see what you're saying. But we'll ask Bob, and we'll give everyone a chance to answer this, Nigel, for you, my man. So, Bob, what do you think on Nigel? Is it classless?
We just don't know, do we? I mean, was the interview going to come out anyway? Sky had made some statements on the Monday, and we thought there was their agenda again, but obviously what we weren't aware of that they had quotes from the horse's mouth. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You can read it two ways. He's had enough. He thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna get it out now, so at least I can get a send off properly. Maybe it was a kick up backside for Levy. Look, I'm making it quite clear what just so people know why I am going to be wanting to leave at the end of the season. Here is the reason. I'm going to let it all out, because he called out not only David Levy, who's that? Levy, but he called out quite a few of the players as well, and their attitudes and basically some inside information. So I think.
Bob, just hold on to your feelings. Just hold on to your feelings over the overall interview, because I do actually want to touch on that with everybody.
Yeah. I just think that there's an ulterior motive in there somewhere. Hidden message.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Shane?
So this is, again, if we go by all the sound bites that have come out, Harry Kane has not directly come out and said, I want to leave Spurs this summer. He's not come out and said that. So we're going back to last season, same sort of things. He did a Jamie Redknapp interview, similar type of things. He's saying the same things he's been saying for the last 18 months. Nothing really different. If we don't progress, then I need to go and, further my career. He's not said anything different to that. The problem is the timing. The timing has been really suspect. Now, I believe his brother, if his brother's his agent, as you said, Bob, this interview was done with Sky a while back, so it would have probably come out at some point anyway, probably during the summertime, because what Sky are doing is trying to sell players. They always try and sell Harry Kane. But they had a great opportunity now. We've got no manager. We've literally now got no chance of top four. We've got somebody who's in charge who doesn't really, want to be in charge. Of course, Brian Mason would love the job, but he's not qualified to do the job. Harry Kane's now got to the end of his tether. He's seen all these memes of him saying, what's going on here? Perfect opportunity for them to start selling views, selling, space on Twitter and all the rest of it where they try and sell themselves. This is what Sky are doing. I just think at this moment in time, if we get something sorted out, and I mean a proper structure in place, a proper manager in place in the next few days, which Spurs have said they're going to try and do, and Harry Kane gets a certainty that we are actually going to do something. Now, we've got no guarantees of winning anything because we're Spurs at the moment, but there's probably one more opportunity for Daniel Levy to prove to his best asset that we are actually trying to do something going forward. The next manager he gets in is going to be all important. If we get like a Nuno, I think that's it. See you later. He's gone. If we get somebody in like a Ten Hag, and somebody that's okay, we can see what we're doing, and then we come with a plan as well, a plan of action to say this is what we're going to do. We're going to have this in place. We're going to bring this, and we're going to have a strategy and all the rest of it. He might decide to stay because at the end of the day, he can be kept here without him without his will. So they can keep him because he's got a contract till 2024. So it really does depend on what the next move is from the club in terms of that appointment. I don't think it's classless. I think it's part of the game. He's not come out and directly said he wants to go. And for that reason, he's done everything he can for Spurs. We can't say that he's not put in every single effort. He's got his best numbers in a combined season of goals and assists. What more can you want from the player?
Yeah. Do you think he'll hang around for another rebuild though, Sam? Because I think what he wants right now, mate, is guaranteed trophies. And at a team like Man City, when you go to a Man City, you're guaranteed trophies. So you're right, mate. Ten Hag will be absolutely fantastic. Some of the people we bring with him, but what Ten Hag will have to do first of all is rebuild and probably work with some youth players, which probably take a season, 2 seasons before it's embedded, before we start winning trophies potentially.
Get him to bring that Ryan Gravenberch with him as well, that centre midfielder. He's an absolute tank for his age. He's a unit, that guy. He's going to be quality. Just quickly, we'll get Jack's thoughts on it, and then I do have a couple of super chats to get through there before we get on to the other stuff. Jack, what's your thoughts, on what Nigel was saying?
Yeah, I mean, is it classless? I guess if you take the context of the timing in, I mean, maybe it is. The problem is that with Kane is that he's basically PR-wise never really made any mistake ever. He's been a complete professional at a pretty poor club where he's absolutely overachieved. And so if we were to criticize him for, maybe the first misstep that he's ever made, it would feel a little harsh. But to answer Nigel's kind of super chat, I mean, it is classless. And I think he sent in, very nice of him and generous of him, I think he said in a second super chat saying it's more or less just hurting the mentality of the team right now. And I would agree with that. That's where maybe it is a bit classless, where it is hurting the mentality of the players. It is probably making them think as well, like, well, you know, our leader, our captain, our bastion is, is gone. He's leaving. And so that probably doesn't sit well with them. But yeah, it's impossible for me to criticize, or even it's hard for me to even say classless of him, because this is the first time I think in any shape or form he's made maybe a slight misstep. I don't even think it's too big of a mistake, because given what he's had to go through, that's the other thing. He's a human being at the end of the day, and can imagine what he's probably thinking about what he's had to go through under Levy. I probably would have made that video a long time ago. So, it's I really just think he is a professional human being, and I struggle to criticize him.
Just going back to your point though, Jack, about whether or not he's letting his teammates down. Do you know what? I think all these guys would know anyway. You remember they're with each other every single day.
Right.
These players all know. They know what's going on way before we do. So they probably had conversations. He's got best mates in there. Some of them, obviously not all his best mates, but he's got probably some close colleagues in there. He's probably had some private chats with, this is what's going to happen. So they all know. Within the team, there's a lot of unknown things that will never come out in the public domain.
Yeah.
The fact is we've been playing so poorly for this length of time leads me to believe that they probably knew this a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So it was all about timing after that. The timing is shite, but I think they probably, in terms of his players and his colleagues, have known ages ago.
Long time. I think you're right.
100%. Just a couple of super chats to get through here quickly. Spandan Samaran says, Josie obstructed Bale's progress to make an impact. No, I'm not having that. Listening to Harry Kane's interview yesterday, I'm not having it, honestly. And I'll tell you why a bit later on in the show, Spandan, when I do get onto Kane's interview. But I'm just not buying that at the end of the day. He's a professional footballer. He gets paid multi-millions of pounds every year. And I'm just not having it that Jose hampered his impact. It's up to him to prove to a manager why he should be selected. And that's where things have gone wrong at Tottenham.
He's not a youngster, is he, Dave? He's not a youngster, is he, Dave?
No, he's not a youngster. He should be leading by example.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So
he should be leading by example. He should be one of the leaders in the dressing room. That's why he was brought in.
Exactly.
Rob Quinn here says, sell a lot of them. Boring week and depressing to watch. Yeah, I'd agree. There's a lot of players that have to go, Rob. I fully agree with you, my man. I couldn't agree more with that. There's a lot that needs to go. And big up, Rob. I'm glad you're awake to the problems, my man. Another super chat here from Nigel Gates. And guys, just quickly, honestly, you don't know how hard it is to keep up when the chat is flying the way it is.
Yeah.
I do see some people getting frustrated because I can't get to the questions. But honestly, trying to run a show and trying to get everybody's comment up on screen and get everybody's questions answered, it's getting to the point where it's getting that big, it's kind of getting impossible. Everybody knows I will always try to get your comments up. I'm not naive or stupid enough to know that not everybody can put in super chats. So I'll always at least try and get your comment up on screen. But on days like this, when the chat is flying the way it is, super chats is the way to go, guys. If you genuinely do want your question answered and stuff like that. Or when the super chats die down, I will try and get some of your questions and that in. But keep getting them super chats in, guys. It really does help the channel as well. You've no idea how much. Nigel Gates then replying with another super chat. Big up, Nigel. He says, my thoughts is it could have had a bad effect on the team for the rest of the season and where we finish. No, look, that's a fair point. It could have. 100%. Look, it could have had an effect on the Villa game. We don't know. But what I will say, Nigel, is to be honest with you, I fully understand your point and I fully see where you're coming from. But I even think you would agree with me here, man, that, some of the performances against the Villa game, as soon as you seen the likes of Harry Winks starting, Nigel, you were actually on the pre-match pump-up and I seen you in the comments a lot. I think we kind of knew what we were to expect as soon as we seen the likes of Winks starting in midfield, Nigel. But I agree, to some respect, it probably does have a bit of an effect on the team and where we finish. I'm on board with that, Nigel. Big up for the super chat, man. What an absolute legend. And then we just have two more to get to here, guys. We have another one here from Spandan Samaran. He says, how long will it take to change Spurs' culture? Realistic time a manager should get for it. SAF needed 4 years to remove United's drinking culture. Sir Alex Ferguson needed 4 years to remove United's drinking culture. Spandan at Tottenham, it's not a drinking culture that's a problem, my man. It's just like what Harry Kane was saying in the interview. People that don't want to do, to be able to do the basics, people that don't want to step up, people that don't want to put the extra work in to improve their game, especially when they're playing shit. So there's a lot of that. To remove the culture at Tottenham, Spandan, look, I thought Pochettino was the man. Bringing in Jose, back them, we probably could have removed it by now. But we'll never, ever know, my man. We'll never, ever know how long it'll take. Probably another 4 or 5 year rebuild and then bringing another world-class manager off the back of that, doing things right. So it could take another 10 years, my man. It could take another 10 years. But, people like Shane and Bob's age, it's taking longer than that, man. So I'm saying 10 years, but, for these boys, it's 20 years. So it could be another 30 years. Who knows, Spandan? Who knows? That's a great comment.
Cheers for that, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
I do think.
Yeah, but guys, I still have my hair. I can say that. Come on.
With Poch, I think it took us about 2.5, 3 years. Well, no, about 2 years in. I think we began to see the changes of some people would say in the first year. We got to the final, but we saw a difference in culture, and it's probably the hardest thing that Poch did. It changed the mentality of not only the club, not only the players, but the fans as well. I know Sam's touched on it a few times in a counter argument normally used, but we suddenly thought we were entitled to a top 4 finish over and over again, and that came by Poch's demand on the team and the effects of a change of culture. So yeah, he did the impossible, and hence the reason he knew which players to get rid of, because they weren't going to fit into the newer culture. So it's a 2 year build, I think, for someone to come in and implicate their cultural beliefs onto the team and onto the club. Yeah. It's all very well doing it on the club, mate, but it needs to be done, and that's where Poch fell short. The club, the team had the idea of his culture. The fans had a very good idea of what his culture he wanted to bring on. Unfortunately, the board didn't, and the board fucked him over and let him down. Yeah. If the board shared his vision and his cultural beliefs, then we would have easily been a more successful team.
That's a fair point, because basically, when I listen to what you said there, Bob, is basically, look, bring in whatever manager you want. Bring in whatever, cheap-ass players you want to cover them. The culture's not going to change until the owners kind of change or change their culture.
100%.
So I fully agree with that. And just a super chat here from Let's Talk Spurs, which is our own, very own, Eric Dyer, of course. So everybody, make sure you get over to Let's Talk Spurs and make sure you smash the on his channel. Just a quick reminder before I read it out, there is 250 people watching. I'm not ending the stream tonight until bobspur has 500 subs and Paxton Road TV has 320 subs. So guys, it's please don't leave me sitting around here for 20 minutes after, trying to get you over, because I do have pie and chips waiting that I want to sit down and watch something with. So look, if you could do it gradually throughout the stream, that would be brilliant. Lads, if you could check the subscribers and let me know how we're doing. But Let's Talk Spurs with the super chat. He says, to be honest, he said in the doc, some people being Levy, or some people being lazy and shifting and blaming the team. If they feel down because he leaves, it's their fault, as well as Levy. Yeah, 100%. Look, it was in the documentary about these players. Harry Kane's interview has now said a lot about these players. So it's all there in front of our eyes. We cannot keep making excuses for them. Everything's there in front of your eyes. What more do we need? Your eyes don't lie to you when you're watching the team. Whether you're paying 80 quid a month for Sky and BT to watch the games, or whether you're paying 60 quid to get down for a match ticket to watch the game, you're still being served up the same shit and your eyes don't lie to you. We need to wake up. We need to put pressure on this board. We need to put pressure on them to either change their ways or sell the fuck out, or get the fuck out of our club and sell it if they're not willing to do what they have to do in order to fix this problem this summer. And the reason why I say that is, quickly, Bob, if you want to give them that stat you gave us before, and this is the reason why I'm saying this, and then I will get onto the rest of the preview. But that stat about Levy making or Enoch making more money over the pandemic, because it just people are going to tell me the resources aren't there because of a global pandemic and whatever else. I don't care. The resources are there. Trust me. So Bob, tell them why the resources are there.
Joe Lewis apparently made an increase of £388 million during the pandemic. He made an increase of 388, which is now he's worth £4.33 billion.
And they wanted to furlough staff.
And they wanted to furlough staff.
And they wanted to furlough staff. Imagine that on you at home, on your taxpayers' money. That's what he wanted to do in order to make himself richer over the pandemic, which he's done anyway. He's done it anyway.
1 million.
So anyone that comes to summer and tells me the resources aren't there, I ain't listening to it. You can tell me financial fair play is in place. I don't care. PSG are allowed to spend what they want. City are allowed to spend what they want without any repercussions. So it's about time we join the big boys and start mixing it up. You know, that's absolutely shocking. But that's a stream for another day, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that is a stream for another day.
Just 2 million of that pays like a year and a half of probably the majority of the staff. It's absurd.
Not even that though.
It's like 1/400th of the percent of what that is. He could have paid the whole staff for the.
But these guys don't want to use their own. He's not going to use his own money, and that's what I'm saying. Because it's a business. We want. If Joe Lewis decided to do a Roman Abramovich, we could be up there with them lot. But he's not going to do that. He's not going to spend millions of. He won't even affect him, but he should be. But this is what we expect. I think the more importantly is we need to get some form of structure in place. We just don't. I don't know from what game to the next what we're doing at this club. Do you know what I'm saying? We went for this Poch style, then we went for this Jose style. What we're waiting for next? We don't have somebody in between Daniel Levy and the manager. This has got to be the director of football. It's got to be someone. I have a question on that for you guys. Oh, right, I'll stop talking about it then, because I think there's so many things about that we could do.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get through these super chats. I'll ask you a few last questions. I'll leave a couple out. And then I want to ask you on the director of football. But my question is based on hoping that you watched the Martin Yole interview with We're Talking TV, the full 40-minute one.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I did.
Shane, did you watch it?
I've not seen it. Not seen it yet.
Okay. Well, I'll explain it to you anyway when I get around to it. But that's basically what and then I want to talk about the Kane interview. Just quickly, Danny Kiriakou says, Poch install belief into us, the fans, players, staff. 100%. 100%, Danny. 100%. Look, everyone in the club was pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
Everybody. For me, it was probably my best ever period of being a Spurs fan. My most enjoyable, even though it was never. It hasn't been our most successful period at Tottenham ever. You know, I've actually, it was the closest everyone was connected. So 100%, Danny. Timman007 says Arthur's video the other day just sums up what Levy has done to this club. The video should be emailed to Levy and the Tottenham Hotspur Trust. # Levy out. Yeah, well, look, Timman, I've took the pleasure of atting the real Spurs official and everything else on social media and that to try and get their attention. We've all spreaded the word for Arthur. The guy's channel is growing insanely quick. But honestly, when I seen that and then listening to likes of Philip today, Simon Cohen, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken seeing these guys upset, seeing what these owners have done to this club, what they've done to us. These guys have witnessed with their own eyes our club's picking up trophy compared to where it is now, where they're watching moon boots come out in the press every week telling us that he feels hard done by, and then the next week goes and puts in a shit performance. Seeing Harry Winks complaining he's not getting playing time to make the Euro squad, even though he gets his chance, he doesn't put it in on the pitch, but then people make excuses. How do you expect these guys to perform when they're dipped in and out? I'm sorry. Yeah. But if you're at a club and you want to make you get an opportunity, especially at a big club like Tottenham, you have to be ready to take it no matter how small or big the opportunity is. And this is the problem. These guys want 5-10 games to get into a rhythm. Cut the crap. You either come in and hit the ground running or you fuck off. It's that simple. I'm sick of the shit we're seeing. I am sick of it. When have we come to a point at Tottenham where we're begging players to get out of form and making excuses for these donkeys rather than proving to us fans and the manager why they deserve to be picked? When they get the opportunity, take it with both hands. And again, along the line of the Harry Kane interview, the desire to be the best is not at this club with half of this squad. It's not there. But big up Tim, man. I fully agree. And I know Bob wants to have it, something there. He's put up his hand patiently like he's in class. So we'll go to Bob.
Can I go for a wee, please? No. I just want to say a big up to Matt, yourself, Dave, and Brian, who really brought Arthur's video to the fore, and I think we've got a group chat going on amongst the YouTube Spurs YouTube family, and we all got together and we made a mission that we're gonna do it. Obviously, we're not him getting subs ain't gonna change his thoughts towards Enoch, and ain't gonna get rid of the disappointment he's got towards the likes of Levy, but it probably brought a smile to his face. It probably it certainly did. You know, the videos later on suggested that he was taken aback by the support he got. And when he sent that video out, I think he had about 16 subs. He is currently sitting on 250 something. So it worked, and that's in 48 hours. So it worked, and I just want to say thank you to everyone. Obviously, the likes of Matt and Dave and Brian who instigated it, but certainly to everyone out there who the Harris Army were a big part of it. The Will Rangers went for it as well, and I know I'll put a tweet out, and loads of people from my channel went for it as well, and it's absolutely big. My partners subscribed, and she spread the word, and a few of her friends have joined. So no, it's absolutely fantastic, and Arthur certainly deserves it. So thank you to everyone.
But just, do you know what, Bob? It was you that created the Spurs family group chat, if I'm not mistaken, was it?
Was
Yes,
Bob?
But, you know, since you've created that group chat, you've actually provided a platform for all this to happen. Like, the reason why we all got behind Arthur is because it kills us seeing, you know, people breaking down because of this club, and these players and owners need to realise that, you know, for some of us, it's the only thing we have in life. It's the only thing that brings us joy. It's the only thing we look forward to, you know. And there are fans out there that can't switch off, and they have to realise what they're doing to some of these people. You know what I mean? But honestly, it wasn't just me, Matt, or it was the whole Spurs family that got behind them from the group chat, and then everyone else who's watched it has all felt bad about it as well, all seen what's doing to them, and, you know, are pissed off with Levy, and that's why they're getting to Arthur. Arthur is showing, that's why they're getting over there and showing him the support, because he's showing emotion. Like, look, to be honest with you, the only time you'll ever see me cry on camera is when Tottenham lift a trophy. You won't see me cry otherwise. I wouldn't give people that emotion. But fair play to Arthur. He's showing what he's basically showing the feelings that everybody else is feeling. But big up Tim Man 007. I really appreciate that.
Big up Tim Man. Big up, mate.
I want to give Cody Mack a special mention as well, because Cody Mack loves Arthur as well. So he'll be pissed off if he didn't give him a mention. Just a couple more super chats to get to here. Shazza Ellis, big yourself up, says, remember Rose's comments in the documentary. He was right. Yeah, 100%. Can't argue with that. I fully agree with you. But look, at the same time, Rose was a bit of a problem too. You know, he was pissing me off, coming out, speaking out and everything else, and crying all the time. You know, but look, at the end of the day, he did give good service to Tottenham as well. So respect to Danny Rose. I did like him, to be fair. Ed M with a super chat says, this guy from Paxton Road speaks so well, gets his points across, really balanced in his views, should be put forward for panel, if not board position. So there you are. Look, you may as well take this. Do you want to respond to it? You want to respond to Ed? Big up Ed for the super chat.
No,
and Ed, make sure you subscribe now. You have to follow up.
Make sure you subscribe.
You can't blow that much smoke at me and not go and subscribe now. You got to do that. No, but seriously, I've been a Spurs supporter since the early 80s, you know what I mean? And I've seen the club go through ups. I've seen the club go through some real downs, and we've been up, and then we're at this point now where it's a real crossroads. The thing I want to see, the thing that Daniel Levy does need to do, because I think as much as we want to get the board out, it's going to be, if not impossible, very, very difficult to get them out. So we need to have changes. There needs to be changes. Now he's come out and he's done this letter and he's come and talked to the fans. That's well and good. But let's see them do that sort of thing in the management positions. Let's see us get a director of football in. Let's see us have them come out and say, this is our plan. This is what we're going to do. And it's going to be a 3 to 5 year plan, or it's going to be an immediate. No, they never say anything like this. We just get manager. We've gone through how many managers in that 20 odd years, 11, 12, 13, well, I can't remember what the number is. So many managers, but never have I understood what we're doing. It's like, well, Tim Sherwood's in charge now. Andre Villas-Boas, Juan de Ramos, Martin Yeo. What are they doing? What's their plan? What's their, you know, we had a director in Paul Mitchell in terms of he couldn't get on with Daniel Levy. So it's a lot of other problems and issues, but we just need to have more transparency. If they would come out and were more honest with fans, I think we'd at least accept more of what they say. But all this cloak and dagger, oh, you lot can't know because we're in charge. It's not going to wash anymore, because channels like this and people like us are able to speak our mind, and it puts pressure on them to actually acknowledge that we are part of this whole thing. It's their custodians. We own the club. Us fans own the club. Do you know what I'm saying? So we should have a say, and we don't. So we have to do things like this to make them understand, yes, we know what we're talking about as well. We're not just coming there to just shout, well done, when we score a goal. We've got knowledge as well. So we need to express that. And this is when the fantastic channels like this allows us to do this. Do you know? No,
100%. 100%. I really do appreciate that, Shane. And Adam is already subscribed as well. Big up, Adam, for the super chat. We have another super chat here from Dari. He says, the problem is we have a large group of players that have an attitude that they have won things. Trophy shelf guys, it's the same as their attitude, empty. 100%, Dara, I couldn't agree more. And look, stay tuned for when I do get on to talk about the Harry Kane interview, because I will be talking about players' attitude, just like what kind of game was alluding to. Couldn't agree more, man. It's like, look, it's not what a lot of us have been saying all season about these players' attitude, thinking they're Billy Big Bollocks, walking around. You see some of them come running on the pitch, pointing fingers and then doing nothing. They're honestly, you're going to get me started into a rant that I really didn't want to go into, Dara, because it's going to give me a heart attack. This squad is killing me slowly, man. It's killing me. But Dara, man, I couldn't agree more. And just because, look, these players are spineless and weak, Dara. They're weak and spineless. You know the deal, my man. You know it. They let us down time and time again. They're bottle jobs. They need a sports psychiatrist or something like that. Because look, it's not the fact that they're not getting a nice sleep, because, like I said before, queen size mattress and Egyptian cotton sheets, only the best for them. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're getting a good night's sleep. So I don't understand what's upsetting them, Dara. But I fully agree with you, man. What a super chat. I really do appreciate it. But I know you were trying to get me on a rant, Dara. I know what you were trying to do, but big up, my man. And then we have Jeremy Smith.
You nearly went for it, Dave. You nearly did. Well done.
Look, I'm liable to go on a rant any minute. It's always on the tip of the tongue because I'm so pissed off. I'm just trying to hold it back, trying to be positive going into this game. So I can wake up tomorrow with a smile on my face. But this team. Jeremy, you're trying to get me to go on one now. Shane's trying to get me to go on. Jeremy Smith, he said, stuff the players, they have let Kane down a lot. The proper class, they are just rubbish. Couldn't agree more, Jeremy Smith. Could not agree more. Waste of space. Speaking of rubbish, why don't half of them go and be bin men? Because that's what they're suited to right now. Eric Dyer picked 2 bins up. Look inside that. He'd be able to pick 2 bins up, not a problem. Asking him to jump the clear corner, not his forte. So maybe he's suited to bin man, Jeremy. Big up, Jeremy. Love that super chat, my man. Absolute legend. And then we have one more here from Nigel Gates. He says, it's a shame all the players don't have the professionalism of Harry Kane. We might have a good team then. Nigel, if all the players had the professionalism of Harry Kane, we'd be sitting here, right, with the jersey on, with a star over the crest for winning the Champions League. We'd already have the Premier League. We'd already have an FA Cup or 2 behind the belt. Us fans love FA Cups. We've got history with the FA Cup. 8 of them, in fact. People don't want to speak about it, but we've 8 of them. We've got history with the FA Cup. But, these players, like Harry Kane alluded to, they have to be told to do things. They don't want to do anything extra. They don't have the desire to go and win games. In fact, actually, Nigel, they really don't want to win games, because Harry Kane, was saying Jose was giving them all the tools on the pitch to win. Jose would do anything to win, and so would Harry Kane. But then the players basically, my eyes don't lie to me what I've seen. The players stop running. So it just tells me, Nigel, we don't have winners at this club that want to win trophies. So big up, Nigel. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. What a legend. And everybody else, keep getting the super chats in. I'm gonna go for a quick glass of water because my throat is going hoarse. I've been at this nearly 3-4 hours now, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm not complaining. I'm in my element here. I love it. Camera on, speaking to these wonderful Spurs fans and all you, the Harris Army out there. I wouldn't change it for anything. It's like my favourite pastime now. I do this more than I play FIFA, so feed yourselves up. But look, basically, last thing I'm kind of going to touch on, and I'm going to get a score prediction and predicted lineup because I do want to go into Kane and that. If some of you want to, if any of you have plans, don't be afraid to head off. It's not a problem. But Tottenham are 7th. We're on 59 points. And the permutations for Tottenham is tomorrow. I hope I pronounced that right as well. It's a big word for me. Spurs need Southampton to beat the Scammers, and we need to beat Leicester to get the Europa League spot on goal difference. Because we will clinch it on goal difference. We'll end up on the same points as West Ham. We've far superior goal difference. We also need to win and finish above Arsenal to avoid St. Totteringhams Day, and to stop them and Everton taking our Europa League conference spot. Provided if Arsenal or Everton win as well. So, look, Bob, we'll start with you. First of all, do you think West Ham could fuck up, the Scammers could fuck up against Southampton tomorrow? And if not, do you want to win anyway so that we can avoid St. Totteringhams Day and go into the Europa Conference League?
Yeah, I think the biggest news right now is the Eurovision Song Contest and Great Britain. We are currently, so we're about 13 votes in out of the countries, and we have a grand total of 0 points. We are bottom of the league. Nil points. So, this says everything. With regards to tomorrow, I can't see West Ham falling short against Southampton, and I think it's really sad state of affairs that we are looking to win a game just so we don't finish behind Arsenal. As hard as it is for me to say this, Jack and Sam, but and Dave, if we finish behind Arsenal, we deserve it. We deserve it. It's not going to be. We're not going to finish behind Arsenal just because of tomorrow's game. We're going to finish behind Arsenal because of our shit show of performances all season. So if we finish behind Arsenal, I hope they get a fucking kick up the backside. And who knows? Who knows? There maybe there's some fans out there who are wish-washing about. I don't know about. We're finishing behind Arsenal because of how it's a follow-on from how ENIC and Levy and their lack of ambition on the pitch. We have to look at the bigger picture. But the immediate feeling tomorrow, if we do finish behind Arsenal, is going to be of no. It's if we finish behind Arsenal, it's because we fucking deserve it.
Yeah, and 100%. Shane.
God, tomorrow is like real. It's a real double-edged sword. We win, and the West Ham win. We're still going to be where we are. That means we're going to be in UEFA Conference League, which is going to be terrible anyway. We lose, Arsenal win, and they go above us. We're going to probably be down to 9th, and then we're going to get ridiculed all summer, but we won't be in that European Conference League. So it's a real tough one. I want us to win every game we win. I don't care whether or not it's about being in that UCL or not, and I'm going to use UCL meaning the Conference League, not the Champions League. I want us to win it. I want us to win tomorrow, and I don't want them not to finish above us. 100%. Will it paper over any cracks? It's like seeing best of the shittiest bunch. We're talking about being 6th and 7th here. We're not talking about being in the top 4. So there's no real bragging rights to be had. But it's just that fact that they were so poor at the beginning of the season, and we were top of the league. The amount of shit we gave them as well, Sam. I remember going on your channel. I remember doing it on your channel. We were bantering them proper. We gave them grief. We was at the top of the table at one point.
I have the whole of the AFTV fan base after me. They put out a post about Willian, right, and asking about overall rating him out of the season, and I put 10 out of 10. He's come in. This is before he scored against West Brom. No goals, no assists. It's perfect. What more do you want from a ringer? Hashtag trust the protest or process. Arteta in, and then after I just hashtag you mugs, and they've been caning me ever since. But I love it. But I am going to be absolutely ripped to shreds if we don't finish above them tomorrow.
This is what I'm saying.
I cannot have St. Totteringhams Day happening. And just quickly, Luke Holloway, love a Harris rant. Big up the stream and you guys. Big yourself up, Luke Holloway. Who doesn't love a Harris rant, especially when I won one? Big yourself up, my man. Appreciate it. Sorry, back to the panel.
No, we just cannot
That's very
finish
professional.
below them lot. We just can't. It would just be the worst of the worst season because, like I said, they've been terrible. But to be fair to both clubs, we're not in a position to crow about anything. We've both got shit to sort out. But going back to Tottenham, which I'm more concerned about, I'm not bothered about them lot down the road. It is a massive, massive summer. And it all starts with how we go about this process of getting this manager, whether or not they're going to not just get the manager, but get a something else in place. I keep saying we need to have more than just getting a manager. We need foundations about what we're going to do. What's the process? Who's doing the scouting? How are we going about doing the scouting? What's the policy? Are we looking at younger players? Are we going to... Whatever it is, we need to have this structure in place so that we can at least all say, all right, I understand. So that if the results don't go our way from the beginning of the next season, we're not all up in arms because we will at least, and I hate to use the word trust the process, because that's what it's got to be about. It's got to be about where we're going to get to in a set amount of time. At the moment, we're just fucking firing blanks all over the place, and it's just no good. So, yeah, it's massive. It's massive. I don't want to finish below them lot. I really don't. Sorry.
No, 100%. And Jack, what's your thoughts, my man?
Yeah, I mean, we in every way deserve it just because we were so far ahead of them. And it really takes an absolute valiant effort to fuck up in the way that we did. And it really, I mean, it's almost impressive that we've let them back into it. It's not like they've gone on some sensational form themselves either. They've kind of just chunked their way up from 14th or even below that all the way up. And it's really just pitiful. Every sense of the word, and so we deserve whatever we have coming to us. But then again, on the positive note, everyone, despite your, it seems, there are a lot of Graham Potter haters, but you have to be a Graham Potter fan tomorrow. I'm just saying, you have to believe that Graham Potter can pull another masterclass. He's got some scalps this season from some pretty big teams. So please put your faith behind Potter tomorrow. Just for tomorrow, even if you hate him. Just for tomorrow, put your faith behind him because that is really more our last hope. It's not Spurs winning. It's more Graham Potter pulling off a masterclass for us.
Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? That's so terrible. We're relying on Graham Potter.
Yeah,
we don't even have anything to play for either, Brighton, too. So we have to pay them almost
Jack,
probably to do it.
For one, I can tell you, I'll be sitting there in my Harry Potter outfit. I'll have a scar down the middle of my head. I'll be sitting there on my broomstick with my Quidditch ball, waiting for Harry Potter to beat Arsenal. And even better if we can get Danny Welbeck, to come in and get a few goals as well. It'd be even more funnier. It'd be absolutely brilliant. And just so everyone's clear out there, I just want to say quickly, I will actually take Europa Conference League. I've stated this many a times, just so people know where I stand. Because I think it was Paddy Harnett saying, "Tell me why we wouldn't want Europa Conference League." Paddy, I do. I told people this before. I've been out on the estate on these dark, cold Tuesday, Wednesday evenings. You know what I mean? Kicking ball with my friends, and all of a sudden it's like, right, lads, see you later. We're heading in. We're going to watch our team in the Champions League. And I'm left there kicking a ball off a wall. It's probably why my touch is so good, to be honest with you, because I was left on my own to practice and everything else like a loner, because everyone else watching their team is in European football. So I would take any sort of Europe. I really would. I'd even take Tottenham entering the Eurovision today. That's how much I love Europe, honestly. So big up, Paddy. I would. But sorry, Bob, I know you had something to say there quickly.
No. Oh, first of all, with regards to the conference, I think it'll be absolutely fantastic if we did get there, a chance to put all our youngsters in. That's probably the most competitive games they're going to have a chance to play in. Yeah. Even more so the League Cup, because everyone we can decide. I really do hope that if we do qualify, he chucks in every single youth player with a couple of experienced players in there. It will be such a good experience. And a message for Graham Potter, because I'm sure he's watching. If
please don't come.
No, Graham Potter. No. You want to come to Tottenham? I can understand that. We're one of the biggest teams in the world. We have that history. We have that tradition, that kit. We are going to get bigger and better. We are going to become the best team in the world again.
Tell them, Bob.
Levy Wolfsburg. So if you do want to come, fucking prove it and beat Arsenal tomorrow. Otherwise, stay the fuck away.
Well, fuck off.
And just to Paul Wiley, he says, why hate Potter? Because he doesn't have an exact name. No, he does. Expelliarmus goals. People say they want him in because he's of his XG. Expelliarmus goals. But the thing is, it's not like Brighton finished 9th or 10th. They barely bet relegation, man. And that's why I don't want him in. That's why. Okay? It's not because he doesn't have an exact name. This guy was plucked from Sweden a couple of years ago. Okay, he done a good job at Swansea. Brighton brought him in. But I'd understand if Brighton finished 9th or 10th. I'd say, okay, maybe I'd look at the very bit relegation, man. And this is the thing. And he does have, and like I said, he does have an exact name. It's Expelliarmus Falls. You know, that's what people think this guy is. He waves his wand, Expelliarmus Falls, and then all of a sudden we're going to beat Team 6-7 here. That's what people think.
To be fair,
I'm going to do a Bobby. I'll put my hand up.
Realistically, I'll be honest with you. The only reason why people are back at the likes of Potter and Scotty Starstruck, right, from Fulham, is because they wanted Josie out that much. They all preached Nagelsmann. It didn't happen, even though I told them it wasn't going to happen. So now they realise now they have to put a manager forward. So they're throwing everything behind Potter and Parker. And that's my opinion on it. They're trying to tell me so hard, right, that, you know, they're trying to convince me so hard that 17th and 18th is the right manager to come in, purely because they wanted Josie gone. And Bob, I'm not having a dig at you. It's nowhere near a dig at you, just to make that clear.
Hey, I don't want him. I don't want him. No. Don't get it wrong.
Then it's definitely not you now.
Yeah. No. I've said that. I think he wants to come in and become the next Potterino. But no. I think we need to set our sights a lot higher. You know, for someone to come in who's finished 17, 18 for 2 seasons in a row, and then come in and say, right, lads, top 4 now. It doesn't work with me.
But what I would say, just on the Graham Potter thing, because I think he's one of the prime candidates. In terms of his style of football, I think we can agree his style of football is decent. I like it. I quite like how Brighton play. It's organised. It's well set up. All the rest of it.
Fulham play good football as well, though.
Yeah. What I was going to say that I would hope
still got relegated.
If you put the two squads together, Brighton squad, Spurs squad, we would have the better squad. So saying that, if he can translate the style of football into better players, I would hope that we wouldn't be in and around the position that Brighton are in. That being said, I don't believe he's the right man, because I just feel he's probably going to come in very much like how he just seems like a yes man. So he's not going to come in and do anything to rock the boat. He's just going to do what he's told, but he'll probably get us playing decent football. Are we going to be, you know, going from where we are now to challenging for the league title with Graham Potter in the next season? No, I don't think we will. We might be playing better football, but are we going to get to where we want to get to? Not unless we have a real plan in action. But I'm with you on this one, David. I don't think he's the right man for the job, but we've not got really a lot of choice at the moment. We ain't got a lot of choice.
Yeah, that's true.
We're still on nil point. We're still on nil point, by the way, in Eurovision. Nil point.
Yeah, that'll probably happen until Ireland come round, and we'll give you points, because it always works out like that in Eurovision.
No, Ireland aren't in it. Ireland aren't in it. Ireland aren't in it for some reason.
Ireland? Probably because we're shit and we didn't get out of the semi-finals. The semi-finals was during the week. But I was busy gearing myself up for Astros. I didn't have time to watch it, man. Just if there is any Leicester fans out there watching, which I doubt there is, you know, Leicester need to beat Spurs and hope Liverpool or Chelsea drop points so that they can qualify for Champions League. Of course, taken out of their hands when Liverpool got the points during the week. So that's what's at stake for Leicester. But look, we'll come to the end of the preview. So now it's kind of time to get on to a bit about the Harry Kane interview. So, Bob, what do you make on the Harry Kane interview with Gary Neville?
Yeah, very damning, mate. You know, the fact that he said he bigged up Pochettino. He basically what we've been thinking. He feels we should have taken advantage of the fact that we were so good under Pochettino. We were making progress. He felt evidently let down by the likes of Levy and Enoch. About Jose, he loved Jose, and he kind of called out the players, didn't he? He expected Jose expected the players to work be adults and take upon themselves to be the most professional beings that they are. But obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, I think as well as the players, and Enoch is also felt let down by how the two managers have been treated. You know, for him to come out and say we didn't know till what, a couple of hours before Jose being sacked, though he was being sacked.
Wasn't even a couple of hours. I think he said half an hour before.
Half an hour, yeah. Just doesn't feel right, mate. It does. You know, it's just toxic. It's if you want to create a toxic environment, get Levy and get Enoch in charge, because they'll do everything possible to make it toxic. It's just it's very damning. It's very damning, mate. Very damning. And the fact that he didn't hold back or anything. He let it all out comfortably. Says to me he quite easily doesn't give a shit about what he says right now because he knows he's going.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with it. We'll get Jack's thoughts on it. I'll give my thoughts on it, and then I know Shane didn't watch it, so we'll just get Shane's thoughts overall on the Kane situation. But Jack, what's your thoughts on the interview with Gary Neville? And just quickly, 227 people watching. Again, I can't stress this enough. We're not leaving until bobspur TV gets 500 subs. So that's up to you guys to make it happen. We're not leaving till Paxton Road gets 320 subs. We're not leaving till that happens. So please just dip in and out of the street, get over and smash that subscribe button. While Jack's having his say, Shane, if you could let me know if there's any progress on any of the goals, that would be fantastic. But Jack, what's your thoughts? And quickly, everybody else, keep getting your super chats in, guys. The chat is flying. I am trying to get everybody's messages up, but keep getting the super chats in. But Jack, what's your opinions on Harry, man, on the interview with G-Nev?
Yeah, I think it's important to notice that he did call out to a degree his teammates in the best way that he could, and that had to do with the fitness. And that with Pochettino made them work hard. There were no questions asked. You had to work hard. If you didn't want to work hard, you were out of the team. Harry Kane liked that. He enjoyed that. Next manager, proven winner. Kind of expects players to be accountable for their own fitness, expects players to be accountable for their own attitude, expects players to be professional. And he, a professional himself, absolutely loved that and thought, well, this is the perfect guy, someone who represents my attitude, someone who represents what I believe the team should look like. And both occasions, the players seemed to oust the manager out of the club. And I think Kane, in some way, shape, or form, was trying to express that the players in some shape or form are absolutely spoiled, where they don't want to work too hard, but they also don't want to work too little. There's really no in between. They are just absolute sorry excuses for players. And I think Kane, I'm putting a lot of words in his mouth, but I think that's what he was trying to say the entire time. And what's interesting as well is his kind of hesitation about his relationship with Levy. Obviously, he said Levy rewards him for tons of great goals, tons of brilliant seasons. He's rewarded him for that in every way, always gave him a new contract. But he did seem to have some type of hesitation or kind of regret or seem to dread that upcoming conversation with Levy. And I think that's a telltale sign of just that, even Harry Kane, the God himself, is in some way kind of scared or, at least annoyed by having to make a conversation or having to have a conversation with Levy.
Don't you think it's already happened, though? Don't you think that?
I think in a way, he said, hasn't really officially happened. I think they probably have had some conversation. I believe him, though. I actually believe that they haven't had a concrete decision made. I don't think they've made a decision between themselves about whether he's leaving this summer, how much he's going for, what team he wants to go to. I think a lot of those details actually have not been resolved.
I think personally, because that interview, I haven't seen it all, but I've heard sound bites from it. That interview was done 6 weeks ago or something like that, maybe more. Yeah, certainly at least a month ago. I think conversations have taken place. I think there's potentially some form of gentleman's agreement. We all get these gentlemen, and it's all down to money. If Daniel Levy gets in the money that he wants, I think he sells Harry Kane this summer, and everybody's kind of happy. If he doesn't, he won't. And this is going to be the problem for Harry Kane, because what does he now do? Does he start to kick up a fuss? Does he just accept it? Because effectively, he can't force his way out of the club. He doesn't have to sign another contract. But if he goes to 2024, that's another 3 years. He'll be 30, 31. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he wants to wait that long to get himself into another club. This is almost the perfect storm as it stands at the moment for Harry Kane to go, and for us to get the maximum amount of money based on his contract length. I just don't know what way it's going to go at this moment in time. I really don't.
100%. Just quickly before I give my thoughts on it, AV Troops here with a super chat. Big yourself up. Really do appreciate it. He says a while ago from rival fans said Kane was overrated, an overrated stat pattern, not world class. Right now, everybody needs him. Thoughts? Are we must hate an EPL? Yeah, look, it's like that. When you have a world class player, especially being Tottenham, maybe truths, everybody hates Tottenham apart from the fans that love Tottenham and people in and around Tottenham. Everybody else hates Tottenham for some reason. To be honest with you, I enjoy it. I love it. But look, I agree with you. It's one of them things, you know, he's overrated until you want him at your club, isn't it, really? It's just one of them rival things where they're all like, you know, oh, yeah, he's overrated, he's this, he's that. And then all of a sudden now, United want him, you know, to come and win them the Premier League. Imagine that. You know, a few years ago, he was a one-season wonder, AV Troops. You know, all of a sudden now you have Don Robbie. You know, I was watching the thing last night with Expressions, Best of Enemies, or whatever that show is called. You know, where basically, you know, he was saying, oh, maybe the board could get us Kane, and it's all the rival clubs want him. It's just one of them things. You know, when he's against you, you hate him. He's always this, he's that, he's overrated, like you said, a stat pattern. But when he's for sale, he's world class. You know, so big up, AV Troops. Fully agree with you. And Colin Lumsden in with the big €10, £10, absolute legend, my man. Thank you so much. He says, get yourself a drink, David, on me. You've done a long stint. # Harris Army. No, I appreciate that, Colin Lumsden. Look, I enjoy doing it. Don't worry about me. I love doing this. You know what I mean? I want to do this for a living. I want to be able to take it full time. And the harder I work, I'm sure the more closer I'll get to it. And it's people like you that keep putting in them super chats and everything else that keep getting me the equipment to help me grow, help me put out better content that can help me make it full time. So big up, Colin Lumsden, my man. I really do appreciate it. And everybody else, keep getting them super chats in, guys. My thoughts on the Harry Kane interview with GNF is it doesn't take a genius to read between the lines. You know, basically he was saying, like, especially under the Jose thing, I think he was asked about the training, and he was saying, look, you know, Jose, it's up to us. He puts it on the players themselves to do the training, to do the gym work, the stuff like that they need to do. So it's very telling that we have players, even though, you know, especially since the Arsenal and Zagreb game, that they're not willing to just go and put in the extra work to be able to turn this form around. We were top of the league. They stopped running. He was also, like, basically in a roundabout way, I'll just call it as I seen it, that a lot of these players at the club that I'm playing with are fucking losers, bottle jobs. They're like children. They have to be told to do what stuff 24/7. You know, they have no desire or motivation to win anything at this club. They're basically robbing living. I'm the only one, along with maybe Son and Lloris, that actually want to sit here and win trophies. The rest of them are all here for a ride, robbing wages. None of them are dedicated. They're useless. Basically, he's confirming that what I've been saying all season. A lot of these shitbags are absolutely useless, who can't do the basics and do not want to improve either. And, you know, we've had two managers now, basically, where I believe we should have won something and could have won something. But ultimately, these players have failed them, and Daniel Levy has failed them. And I'm out of here because the players that I deserve to be playing with, because I've been the one all over the years who's gone out there, every manager, every player, the ex-Spurs player that I've listened to, even before Harry Kane was in the first team, all said, and even when he was in the first team, have all said, he's out there every day after practice with a bag of balls, practicing shooting. You know, even there on the Gary Neville podcast, he was saying, I went 3 months just playing on my left foot in training. That's how bad the guy wants to improve. You know what I mean? And basically everyone else around me are bottle job losers who don't want to do it, and they're here for the ride. That's what I took from the interview. Harsh or not, it could be, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And you know me, at the Irish Hotspur, I nickname it the home of the truth, because you get it real. You don't get these. Look, Harry Kane can't come out and say it the way I do, but I'm Harry Kane's translator. Harry loves me. I love Harry. It's a match made in heaven. And just to let everybody know, I am doing my part every day. I tweet Harry Kane. I tell him how much I love him. Yesterday, I tweeted him a nice song, Benny King, Stand By Me. You know, so hopefully he was on the way home from training, listening to it in his car, thinking of me, and he's like, you know what? I do need to stand by these Tottenham fans. Yeah. They need me now more than ever. And that's what I'm hoping. And I encourage everybody else, just at Harry Kane on Twitter, and just keep tweeting him, tell him how much you love him. Because sometimes fans can persuade a player to stay. I really do hope that's the case. Guys, any more? Or just quickly, 2 super chats to get to here. We have one from Danny Kiriakou. Big up. He says, David, thank you for explaining in plain English what Harry Kane was basically saying in his interview. No, thank you so much, Danny. You know me and Harry, we have a personal relationship, man. So I just translate in English, like you said, what you meant. But big up, Danny. I really do appreciate the super chat, my man. And also, Danny, put in that question you wanted us to answer because we have time. Big up, Danny. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Really do appreciate it. Everybody, you know who Danny is. He's a channel legend by now. Everybody knows Danny Kiriakou with the bun. And we have another super chat from AB Troops. For 4 of you, if somehow Kane wins the Euros and lifts that trophy with proper manager and new players next season, does that change his mind about staying? We'll start with Bob and work our way around.
Yeah, there's every chance that if he wins something with England, he'll think, right, I've got a trophy. I feel he'll have a feel good factor. I think it's all down to the conversation he has with Levy, regardless of how well he does in the Euros. I don't think it's going to affect his valuation that much. I think he'll be worth 150 if he has a good or a bad Euros. But no, you like to think that, a bit of positive feeling. You might think, yeah, let's give it one more year. But I do think that I've said since, I think last July time, it's a massive summer for the board. It's getting bigger and bigger by the day, by the week, and that chat is probably going to be the biggest, most important conversation Levy's ever going to have in his life with Harry Kane. So, and it will come down to that. By the way, we've still got 0 points. Eurovision.
Of course, Bob is our Eurovision correspondent tonight, guys. Taking on that role. So big up, bobspur. Shane, what's your thoughts on AB Troop's comments here, man?
So, with regards to the Euros, it's difficult because I think I've heard the talk that Harry Kane wants to get all this sorted out before the Euros starts. Yeah. And I know he wants to do that. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, so he's settled. But the other reason is because he potentially could get injured. If he gets injured, having played all the games he's played over this period of time, gets injured in the Euros, let's hope he doesn't, but he doesn't, that's going to put a bit of a dampener and possibly some doubts into whoever's going to buy him, because there's not that many suitors out there who are going to be willing to pay the money that Daniel Levy wants. So if he gets injured, we all know Kane's injuries are going to be his ankles, and that's a possible 2 to 3 months. So because of his age, because of that, I think he has to almost be injury-free for someone to say, right, okay, I'm going to spend this money. And if he gets injured, I don't think the likes of City are going to say, I'm going to spend 150 million. Yeah. Daniel Levy I think he's going to be very reluctant to sell him to anybody in the Premier League. He would rather sell him abroad, but there's nobody who's going to pay that money apart from PSG potentially. So it might be only City, Man United, or Chelsea. Don't think he's going Chelsea, and I don't think he's going United. So that only leaves City. So whether City are going to stump up that money, I don't know. But I think it's all dependent on whether or not he stays injury-free. And if he plays the Euros and gets injured, I'm not so sure they're going to be willing to pay that sort of money. They'll bring the price down, should we say.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, and Danny Kiriakou quickly says, the Irish Hotspur, you forgot to mention what Kane thought on the transfers that we missed out on too, and the chances we had. Yeah, look, Danny, I'm actually going to do a stream where I break down his interview completely word for word and put it in plain layman's terms. So don't worry, Danny. I won't miss a thing. You know me, my man. Jack, just quickly, not just quickly. Everybody keep getting your super chats in, your thoughts and your comments and questions for the panel. And if not, just support the Irish Hotspur and the movement. But Danny, or Jack, sorry, what's your thoughts on AV Troops' comments, man?
Yeah. I think Shane it's true. Like, he wants it resolved before the Euros for very good reasons. But then again, it's possible that Levy will just, almost intentionally try to piss him off, not have it resolved by then. And if he wins the Euros, he might have that feel good factor. He might be less of a hated, Tottenham striker, after he maybe brings home the trophy finally for England. And then on top of that, if Levy tells him, I'm investing in the squad so we can get you back in Champions League as soon as possible, because that's what he mentioned, that, and he seemed very serious about that, about how much he dreaded watching other players in the Champions League and him not being there, and how much he felt he deserved to be there. And so if Levy is honest to him and shows him, listen, this is what I'm going to do to get us back into Champions League next season, maybe he could stay, maybe he'll want to. But I mean, it's really difficult because, Levy's the king of the two-face. So, and he'll probably try his best to convince Kane, but I think that's what Kane is thinking is, how soon am I getting back into Champions League? And, I think that's really what it is for him. And he probably doesn't envision us getting into Champions League next season. And that'll be another year wasted for him.
There's a lot of people calling out Sky, Dave. Sky, Gary Neville, and all this. Mate, that's their job. That's their job. All they're doing is their
it's
job.
like giving out to Eric Dyer for putting the bins on the back of the truck. It's his job.
It's his job. And people going, oh, there's an agenda. He's the best, one of the best footballers in the world. And they've got a chance to interview him one to one. After there's been a bit of a yeah, exactly. So
he wasn't hard hitting, and he can say no, and Harry Kane can say no to some questions. Like, yeah, come on.
Oh, it's a big deal. Kane, they're making too big a deal. Excuse me, but if Mbappe was about to leave PSG, that would be worldwide news. When Ronaldo left Real Madrid, that was worldwide news. If Messi ever left Barcelona, that would be worldwide news. Kane leaving Tottenham Hotspur is worldwide news. It's one of the biggest news in the world. So, hey,
I'm happier it was done the way it was done.
Exactly.
You've made the points. I think people have all made the points that if he wanted to or not want to answer certain things, he wouldn't have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if he didn't want to do the interview, he wouldn't have because he knew what was coming. Yeah. So it was all design. It's all by design, and we can't blame Sky for doing that because they want to get as many hits as we want to do. So they're going to do all they can. You know what I mean? So can't blame them.
Exactly.
Just quickly, Shane, if you could get the updates on the subscribers on the channel, that'd be brilliant. Jason Laylis says Irish Hotspur, please give a shout out to Ballyfermot. Yeah, big shout out to the Ballyfermot boys. Oh, Ballyfermot, you know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Big shout out to the Ballyer boys. Big yourself up, man. I hope you enjoyed that. But look, that's my attempt at the Dublin accent. Look, Shane, what's the update on the subs, man?
So Paxton Road, we're currently on 297.
Go on.
Bobspur, we are currently on 458.
Oh.
Right, guys, I have one more question to ask these guys, and I'm not messing. As soon as they've finished answering it, I ain't leaving until we push these subs. Paxton Road will leave you at 300 there too. Off it. Just make sure you subscribe.
Getting chained.
Dave wants us to be here all bloody night.
Yeah, you're hostages now.
But my aim is 320 for Paxton Road, and my aim for Bobspur is 500. So you need to get over and start smashing that subscribe button. Great contributors to the channel. Had a lot to say today with some very, very valuable points. The link is in the description below. So make sure you do get in below and make sure you smash the subscribe on both channels. Please do, I beg you. I'm not leaving until it's done. So my last question is the director of football. Now, looking at the interview that Martin Yole done with the boys on Mere Tottenham TV, great interview, by the way.
Yeah.
But just listening to him, the way he was talking about Ericsson, the way he was the one when Dembele came through at Ajax and said, no, you're a midfielder. You're not clinical enough to be a striker. You know, the way he told Vertonghen and Alderweireld, you're going to be defenders. You know, because Vertonghen was like a left midfielder and Alderweireld was a right midfielder. He converted them into centre-backs. And there was a number of players that he went through that Aaron Lennon was another one. He went and told Daniel Levy to sign him. 1 million, it doesn't matter, sign him.
Yeah.
You know, 1 million is nothing. The amount of players that he identified and what he gave great service to this club, gave absolutely great service to this club and performed in a Spurs jersey. For me, I know he has a job in Holland, but I'd be waking him the fuck up, get out of bed, come over to Tottenham, you're going to be my director of football. That's what I would be doing with Martin Yole. He's a Spurs fan and he loves the club. But Bob, would you give Martin Yole director of football job?
I would. The only thing that worried me, he did like winks to Carrick, which threw me off guard a bit. Yeah, he did say winks. It reminds him of Carrick, but he went in depth into what he expected from Spurs, what he wanted to do at Spurs, what vision he had at Spurs, and like you say, bringing through the likes of Lennon, and speaking about Toby and Vertonghen in depth as well. It's quite clearly a really good footballing mind there, and he has got the finger on the pulse when it comes to players around Europe. So yeah, why not? I like the way every time he spoke about Tottenham, he was saying us and we. So the affiliation and the affection's still there for Spurs. So yeah, get him in, mate. It's going to be hard because I think he's quite happy in the role he's in at the moment. But tug at a few heartstrings, and maybe in his own mind, even in the position of director of football, maybe he thinks he can finish off some unfinished business in that role by coming in. So I'd be all for it, buddy. I'd be all for it.
Yeah, that's a good point actually about he could with the unfinished business. That's a great point, Matt. 100%. Shane, I know I had to refrain you from talking about director of football earlier on, but would you give someone like Martin Yole the job, man?
I would. My only concern is I don't know what his relationship is now with Daniel Levy. I don't know if he has a good relationship with him or not. And obviously Daniel Levy sacked him, so there might be relationship issues there. But the thing is with football, money talks. So I think at the end of the day, if they can sort that out, and it was something that was a goer, I think you could get him in. He looks and appears that Martin Yole is very much a Tottenham man, and if he does get brought in, I would expect him to do to the best of his ability to make the club better. That is ultimately what he's coming to do. The only issue is, will Daniel Levy allow him to do his job without him getting himself involved? And that's the problem, I think, with all the personnel that gets brought into Spurs is, are they allowed to do their job to the best of their ability without having someone like Levy influencing them or meddling? Because we saw from the documentary that he looks like he was all over the place. He's involved in the lunch. He's going into Jose's office. He's chatting with the players like he's their best mate. And that, to me, feels like he's just too involved in everything. He needs to sort himself out. Go and do the commercial stuff. You're really good at that. Get the football people in to do the football stuff. They're really good at that. And we might be able to do something. So, yeah, I'd love Martin Yole, but I'm not sure that Daniel Levy has got that... I don't know what's the word. The ability to make the relationship work long term. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel Levy shouldn't be sitting next to Ndombele and telling him his mindset should be just concentrating on football. If you concentrate on football because you got the ability, that's not Levy's job, mate. That's not Levy's job, is it?
But when he was also trying to relate his own life, he was trying to relate his own life to Tanguy's and saying like, "Oh, this is what I did, and so you should follow what I did when I was a kid."
Why?
It was just disgusting to listen to that, because it's like, you guys are just entirely different lives, entirely different people. Like, you can't just input your agenda onto the guy.
Exactly.
And it was just so cringeworthy.
Yeah. But Danny Kiriakou says here, guys, please sub to bobspur TV and Paxton Road TV, because honestly, they are fucking brilliant. You will see what I mean. Honestly, guys, I'm not messing. People know this when I mean it. I won't leave until their goals are reached. So the Harris Army, anyone else tuning in, please make it happen so that I can go and have my pie and chips and watch a TV program before I go to bed this evening. But Jack, what's your thoughts on Martin Yole as director of football?
Yeah, I mean, I would take any director of football, given that we don't really have one at the moment. It's kind of the combination of Hitchen and Levy. And to be frank, I mean, there are actually a plethora of very good directors of football who would be willing probably to take a huge paycheck from Levy. And, the big issue is that they probably know plenty about how much Levy interferes with their job and what they're supposed to be there to do. And that might be a big, a hesitance for them, or hesitation for them. But then again, I reckon the paycheck is a lot bigger for them. I reckon they do have a bit more money to play with. Just any director of football really works. I mean, you look at any of the big clubs, not big clubs, actually, you look at any of the clubs around Europe, there are clearly a lot of brilliant youth players just coming from some of these clubs every year, from Monaco to Lille to Lyon to German teams to Dutch teams to Serie A. They're brilliant directors of football. They're even FC Krasnodar in Russia. I mean, they're just great teams that are run very well with great directors of football. So to be honest, any director of football will probably be a lot better than what we have at the moment.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to give a special shout out to Jason Groves, absolute legend. Love listening to him. Will Stewart, he does crack me up. Big up, Jason. And by the way, I want to see you on my fan shows in the future, man. Shane, any update on the Paxton Road subs?
I'm going to give you that. Give you a little drum roll. Hold on 1 second. We're going to come through. Just do Bobspur 462 on Bobspur TV. Paxton Road. What are we on? 304 Paxton Road at the moment. 16 away,
Right.
16 away from
All right,
320.
bumping up.
Right, so we need 16 subs on Paxton, and we need 40 for bobspur. Everybody, there's 200.
No,
It's 217 watching.
Yeah, 38. Bob's on 462 now.
462. Come on, guys. 38 subs.
38.
217 people watching. The link is in the description box below. Honestly, I'm going to tell you why Bob deserves the big 500, because this guy has come back from death's door. Literally, I'm not even messing. He's come back from death's door. He gets down to the protest. He makes his voice heard. He's representing you, the fan base worldwide. So make sure I puts out great content as well. And plus, I'm on there. So if you want to see more of me, it's even more of a reason to subscribe to bobspur TV.
Yeah.
He deserves 500. And I would love for the Harris Army, honestly, to get Bob to 500 and give him what he deserves before this season finishes. And I would like to do it tonight. Paxton Road TV, 3 guys, amazing guys. No matter what show we're doing, whether it's on my channel or their channel, such easygoing lads. We always have a good laugh and very, very knowledgeable, just like Bob, when it comes to football. Another great channel who put their heart and soul into their content. All they're asking for is 320 subs before this show ends. You guys can make it. Come on, guys. I'm entrusting the Harris Army. Let's send out a message to everybody on YouTube that the Harris Army has the power and we can do anything when we come together and put our minds to it. Unlike that shit show of a club that's being run right now. But at least the Harris Army can come together and make it happen. So, guys, just keep me updated on the subscribers. If anybody has a couple of questions, put them in. I'll go for another 5 to 10 minutes until I reach the targets. So anyone, any questions, put them in. Quickly, Harry Kane, he has 7. He's scored 7 goals in the last games of the season. He has scored more Premier League goals versus Leicester than he has versus any other team, 14 and 11. And of course, he's going for the golden boot. So we'll start with Bob, so Bob can give more exposure to try and get to the 500 subs. Bob, how badly do you want to see Harry Kane get the golden boot? And is it possible tomorrow against Leicester?
He always likes scoring against Leicester. He's got a good record against Leicester as well. I think, of course, he's going to want to, mate. He's going to want to do that, and I think he will. You know, even in defeat, he seems to score against Leicester. I still remember that game, second from the end. About 4 seasons ago when we beat him 6-1 at Leicester. And I've never seen a striker so one-minded. All he wanted to do was, because he went into the game 2 behind Lukaku and finished it 2 in front of Lukaku, and then obviously scored a hat-trick against Hull in the last game as well. That shows his directness, his focus, his selfishness to an extent. And I think the only thing he's going to want to do tomorrow, win, lose or draw, obviously win. But his main priority for himself will be to get a goal in his first one. Big up, Thomas.
Big up, Thomas.
Big up, Thomas. So bobspur TV 467 now.
Come on, guys. Look, at least if we can get into 480, I'll settle for 480. I shouldn't have to. But we'll settle for 480. So come on, guys. 13 or 12 subs, whatever it is. It's achievable. There's 215 people watching. I know there's 12 of you that haven't subscribed to bobspur TV. So get over there and just make sure you hit that sub. I really want this guy to be at 500, before the end of the season.
Hit that like
but you guys, I'll settle for 20 less. If you can get him to 480 and we can get him the rest over the next couple of days, I'd be so appreciative of the Harris Army. 3 people have dropped out, so hopefully that means they've gone to bobspur TV. I keep an eye on the numbers here.
Keeping an eye on the numbers, don't worry.
Paxton, what are we on?
311. We've got
311, 9 more subs.
9 more
and we
to
reached
go.
the Paxton Road. We reached the Paxton Road count. So we need 9 more subs on Paxton Road. I know there's 216 watching. 9 years are definitely not subscribed to Paxton Road TV. Like I said, you don't even have to type it in. The description is in the description. Sorry?
I'll be honest with you, quite a few people are already members. I've seen, and there's only a few people who are coming up on there who aren't members. So come over and subscribe. But I do understand that majority of them are already members. But it's all about the Harris Army, mate.
It's all back to you, Bob. You just have to wean them out.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
back
it,
to you,
mate.
man.
That's it.
You know, he
That's
knows
it.
what he's doing, does David. Right, so 469 now. He just gone up.
King
Yeah.
Julio, I'm looking at you, man. I know you're not subscribed on both channels. Nigel Gates, you are, I think. Mr. Edwardson is. Colin Lumsden, good to see Trips winning the league. Colin Lumsden, are you subscribed to bobspur and paxton Road TV? I need to know, man.
Yeah,
Joseph Cattle, he's just subbed. I hope you've subbed to both channels, my man Joseph. Tell Gel, make sure you smash a like on Bobspur TV. I'm looking at you and Paxton Road. I'll keep calling you out, Matt Lovin. I hope you're
calling people out. You can't call people out like that, David.
All right.
That's the Harris Army. They love it. They love it. Don Anthony, I know you're not subscribed to the boat, boys. Make sure you get over there. Come on, Don, play your part. Play your part like a lot of the Harris Army are. Celery agent, exactly. Sub.
Celery. Big up Celery, by the way. Love you, mate.
Big up to all those people adding them subs in. Thank you very much. We appreciate this. A great deal. Bob,
Lucas Seidel Harder.
470, yeah.
470.
I know you haven't subscribed, Lucas. Come on now, Lucas. Paul Mansbridge, he's just subbed to both channels. Adam is just subbed to both channels.
Good.
Wow.
Empty Council House is just subbed to Paxton Road. See, calling them out works. See? Sue Smith, I know you're on board. Come on, guys. You know, there's 207 people watching.
We got 320. We got Bob. I'm going to tell you what you're on now.
470.
470.
I've got my laptop out.
Oh, you got a laptop
10.
out. Cool.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. 10 of you. There's 10 of you that haven't subscribed to Bobspur TV. We get in the 10 subs, we can end off the show. We've already shown Paxton Road what we can do. Let's show Bobspur what we can do. Come on. We need 10 more.
Have you done score predictions?
Yeah, we'll do a score prediction, Bob. Me, I'm going to go. I'm going to be optimistic. I always am. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham. I'm going to go Harry Kane with Bale to seal the golden boot. That'll be an absolute dream come true. So that's what I'm going to go with. Bob, what's your score prediction, man?
I'll never go against Tottenham. You know, we could be playing with 5 fit players against Barcelona. I still predict a Spurs win. So I'm going like yourself, mate. I'll go for 2-1 again. Harry Kane with 2, and I'd say Vardy with the other one. Yeah,
I go with Vardy as well. Alama, see, more and more people are coming out saying they're subscribing now. So come on, guys.
473.
473. Yeah. We need 30. We need 16 more to get to leave them 10 off. That's all we need. Come on, guys. The Harris Army. The Harris Army. Come on, keep pushing it. There's more and more of you out there. Cynical Dad. Make sure you get off to Bobspur TV and make sure you smash the subscribe button and Paxton Road TV. We've set targets that we want these guys to hit. You know, I really want them to sign off this season after having a successful campaign, unlike Tottenham. You know, so make sure you get over and sub on both of their channels. What's your score prediction, Shane?
So I predicted earlier the same score as you lot did, 2-1 Spurs. Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane's going to go out there and put the biggest effort in to get this golden boot. So if he plays to the best of his ability and at least a couple more, at least put the effort in, we could see a couple of goals for Spurs. Just whether we can keep them out the other end. So, but I'm still going with 2-1 Spurs. 2-1.
2-1. 100%. And Jack, what are you going with, my man?
I'm going to be different. I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs. I think Kane is going to go close to a hat trick. I think he gets a brace, and then Sonny grabs one as well. And then I would say 88th minute, Eric Dyer has an even more spectacular own goal than Reguilón did the other week. Yeah. That's what I would go for. That's the only goal that they score is some spectacular Eric Dyer own goal. That's what I'm going to say.
100%. Xbox Zero, I'm looking at you. I know you haven't subscribed to Bobspur. Get over, my man. Get over. Danny Kiriakou says Harry Kane to assist himself by getting a pen and scoring. That'd be nice. Paddy Harnett, I think he is a member of. I think he's subscribed to both channels. Mr. Messi, if you haven't, get over to Bobspur TV. We have to reach that goal. Wink 1980. I hope you're subscribed to Paxton Road TV. Alejandro Perez, I hope you are too. We have Bungie B. We need you to get subbed on to Boatman, Paxton Road TV, Bobspur TV. We have goals we want to reach here, my man. So we do. When are you going to do a drunken stream where you lot are all bladdered?
Yeah, we've got to do
once
that.
you subscribe to Bobspur TV and Paxton Road TV. Philip Brady, he's this sub to both. Big up Philip, absolute legend. Can't wait to do the Spurs story, my man. Who else do I need to call out here? Winks is sub to both. Good up. Chris. Yeah, exactly, Chris. I want my pie and chips, man. I need my pie and chips. I'm wasting away here. But Bob, what are we on now, man?
We're on 475, mate. So 5 away.
There's 5 more, guys.
Get them 5 more. We can do this.
Yeah, we can. 209 people watching.
Jack,
I want to see 5 people drop off now.
How far ahead is Kane on assists?
Oh, I think he's tied on goals. I think he might be 1 or 2 ahead on assists, or it's the other way around. Let me look it up.
Yeah, please. I know on goals. Yeah. Cool.
Just quickly, Ben. Make sure you get off to Bob Spur. We're 5 subs off what we want to get him. So come on, Ben. Make sure you get over. Kai Balik or Big. Yeah, look, it may be delusional, but you can help out with my delusion and get over to Bobspur TV and smash that subscribe, my man.
Kane is tied on goals with 22 with Mo Salah, and then he is 1 ahead of Bruno Fernandes with 13 assists.
It's tied.
13 assists. Bruno Fernandes has 12, and he is tied with Mo Salah on goals scored.
Goals. It'll be so Spursy if you finish second on both. Isn't it?
Yes, it would be.
But it's kind of ridiculous.
Says Bob, I refuse to sub to Bobspur, not until he dyes his beard red.
Yeah, piss off, Will. Piss off.
Will.
Ben Thornby here with a question as well. Ben Thornby will answer his question. He says, you guys think Kane is driven by personal records more than team records. That's why he doesn't want to go abroad. No, look, to be honest with you, I think he's driven by both. I think he wants team records and personal records. Look, he's a hungry man. He even wants to go and kick in the NFL after. And to be honest with you, like you could say with some people that's a bad trait to have. But with Harry Kane, it's not. He's just driven. He's focused. He wants to be the very best. And that's all it is, Ben. And don't worry, my man. I wasn't avoiding your question, my man. Bob, how many surely were there?
We're still on 475, mate. I think it will happen overnight.
We can do this.
Yeah, we just need 5. We need 5. Even Shane is willing to hang in here. He got his subscribers and he's still sitting here.
He's not, though. He's not.
Keith, I know you need to subscribe to Bobspur, man. Please, I need my pie and chips. I need my rest. I need my sleep before the 3-match bump up. We're 5 subs off, Keith. Please get over there. There's 212 people watching. Please get over to Bobspur. Get him them 5 subs he needs. Or Noble, come on. I've already given my score. I'm going 2-1. But I need you to subscribe to Bobspur, Mr. Noble. I really do. Get over there to Bobspur and make sure you smash that subscribe, lads. We need 5 people. The numbers are climbing up. They should be going down because I want to see people going off to Bobspur TV. Come on, guys. You can do it. The Harris Army. Let's show them the power.
The power.
Bob, have we moved any?
Sorry, mate.
Any more subject?
No, 475. I'm looking at Arthur's. 237 for Arthur.
You have 476, Bob. 4 more. Come on now.
476.
Come on, guys. Come on. We just need 4. It's definitely doable. And Danny wants the Ric Flair. Woo! There you are, giving you the Ric Flair, my man. If that Ric Flair is worth it, get over to Bobspur. Make sure you smash that subscribe. January 1st, I know you haven't subscribed to Bobspur TV. Get over there and subscribe to Bobspur TV. Honestly, I need pie. I'm hungry. Come on. We should be getting close to it now. Everybody's behind the cause here. Everybody who's not subscribed. We're down to 204. That means 10 people have dropped off. So that better be 10 more subs on Bobspur TV. Come on, guys.
He's coming.
And don't forget about Paxton Road TV as well.
Yeah.
Coming.
Paxton Road's on, I think, 325.
Yeah, get in.
Flying.
Yeah.
Bob, any more?
Stop-ins finish on Paxton Road.
Surely we must be like 2 or 3 off now.
We're 3 off, mate. 3 off.
3 off. Come on, guys. 201 people.
Guys.
There has to be 3.
He wants his pie, and I want some bloody more alcohol as well. So come on, guys. Let's do this.
Come on. There has to be 3 people. If you're feeling sorry for us, come on. 3 more people over to Bobspur TV.
Do it for Arthur.
478.
Do it for Arthur.
Here we do. Here we go. 479.
Come on, guys.
479.
479.
Come on, one more.
Who wants to be
Big up
480? Who
George
wants to be
Manning, no channel
480?
member.
480.
One more.
480.
Hey.
Come on, guys. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Of course, Chris. I can smell the pie and so can everybody else. Joseph Monaghan, new channel member. What a legend, man. Hopefully I'll see you on the next fan show. I really do appreciate it. Honestly, you know, the Harris Army, you guys are absolutely insane. We're after pushing Bob, you know, on a serious push to the 500. I will get Bob the rest by the end of the weekend. Don't worry about that. You know, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm 20 off. I really thought we'd be able to get him the 50 subs he needed. But honestly, most of the people are subscribed here from the Irish Hotspur anyway over at bobspur TV. Yeah. Honestly, I'm so happy that we could get Paxton Road. We could reach that as well and go above and beyond for them guys. Yeah. Absolute heroes. And make sure you follow Jack on Twitter as well. All the links for the guys' channels and is below. All their social media is below in the video. So just get over there and make sure you check them out. Honestly, I want to say a massive thank you to all the super chatters today and over the course of the journey over this season. You've been absolutely insane and immense. I appreciate it so much, and I owe you guys everything. You guys are pushing me on to keep my dream going, do this full time, and put more and more content out there. All I want to do as a little kid was either play for Tottenham or do something involving Tottenham. And you guys are really making a man, you know, go back to his childhood and relive his dreams. So I want to say a massive personal thank you to you, the Harris Army. Every time I thank you, I get a tear to my eye. Honestly, you don't know how much you guys really do for me and how much you mean to me. I want to say a massive thank you to especially Bob, Shane, and Jack, who have appeared on this channel time and time again, putting in the hours for me, for you guys out there, and for the channel. I want to say a massive thank you to these guys. It's been absolutely spectacular. I'm on the push for 2,500 at the end of the season. If there is anybody new out there, I would like if you could subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it. But Bob,
anybody watching the Euros, go find David, recommend it to your friends who are watching the Euros. Anybody who you're watching the Euros with this summer, tell that the Harris Army, David, has a home for you, and that David has that new app that's coming out this summer. It's going to be brilliant. So please, please, please recommend David's channel to all your friends for the Euros this summer.
No, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that, my man. But Bob, look, even though you know, we're after getting loads of subs and all, I still want to give everyone a chance to plug their channel and where they can find you, man. So tell them why they should get to Bobspur TV.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs content, taking a lighter look at stuff. I mean, we did a stream after the Villa game, didn't we? The day after, and it was the most fun I've had. I've got a new show. We've got the day after, the day before show tomorrow. It's actually going to be the day after the season before. So we're going to do a full season review. We're going to have quite a few big names on there. I.e., Dave's coming tomorrow. Danny's going to be there. Will Stewart's going to be there. Johnny Einstein, Tim Leonard, a big journalist from the US, and Cam from 95.01. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow, 9:30 UK time, and it's just be a review of the season, best player of the season, worst player of the season, best performance of the season, worst performance of the season, just an overall look, and obviously looking back at the Leicester game. So that's tomorrow, 9:30 PM. Harris Army hopefully will follow over as well, and looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Look, of course,
it's going to be fun.
Of course, half of the Harris Army will be there. Don't worry about that, my man. Don't worry about that. But honestly, everybody, I can't recommend it enough. Bob has been such a great contributor to this channel, you know, and along with many others. I will be getting all the others on over the next few days and hopefully helping them as well. But Bob has been a major contributor to the channel. Anytime I've needed him, even if it's been at a drop of a hat, he's always made himself available. If you, the Harris Army, could get him to 500, you know, by the end of the season, I'd absolutely love it. But the Harris Army, make sure you follow me over there tomorrow, where you will see me on the day after the day before, or the day after the day before show. Which I can't wait.
I don't even know what it is now.
So, big up Bobspur, and I really do appreciate everything, my man. Shane, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, so Sam_Spurs for life. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter on that handle. Paxton Road TV on YouTube. Yeah, we do match reactions, we do match previews, we do talking points, magazine show specials. We try and do as much content as possible. There's going to be some new stuff coming over the close season when we're going to look at transfer news and all the rest of that speculation and just general chat. So all you guys have been on before, so you'll all come on. Apart from Jack, we'll have to get Jack on. That's a definite point. But more importantly, everybody watching, smash that like button for this channel here. Get 100%. Into them algorithms. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing everything. Keep sharing the content. Make sure this is Ireland's #1. There's some debate about that with Matt, but I believe this is Ireland's
debate. He's Ireland's biggest. I'm Ireland's #1.
You're Ireland's #1.
I'm the people's. I'm the people's man.
The people's man. So the Harris Army, you keep on supporting great content. So like I said, just keep. We're all sharing this together. We're all here to support one team, and we all have different opinions. But the whole idea is that we want Spurs to do the best that they can do. So, yeah, 100%. Keep watching us. 100%.
No, 100%. Look, it's a great channel. I've been on it before. You know, honestly, I can't recommend it enough. You know, the players are great. They also have a great laugh as well, and they put out some great content. So, everybody, that's Paxton Road TV. You like what you had to say here tonight? Get over there and smash that subscribe button. Jack, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you, my man, even if there's people watching and they want you to come on their channel? Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, I can be easily contacted via Twitter. If someone would like any help on anything for a video, or if someone just needs an extra guest, I'm willing to come on, willing to help anyone. Always love talking about Spurs. Always love any depressing conversation at Spurs. My life is dull enough that I actually get a kick out of it. And if you like the sound of my voice, feel like anything I had to say, please follow me at Tottenham Away. It's the other. It's with Brian, the two Brians, Brian Ireland, Brian Daigle, Stell and Shy. Please come over and follow us. We do a bunch of shows every week. So if you really want to check them out or check me out, please go over there. But you can also easily find me here at the Irish Hotspur. I mean, plenty of times. It's honestly a pleasure and an honor to be here so many times. I couldn't ask enough from David. It really is brilliant to be here so often. And so you can also find me here as well. And the chat has been absolutely flying today. I hope that everybody enjoyed the show. I really want to see the memberships go up. If you can, if you're able to afford it, please give David that membership. Saw Tottenham Texan there. Beautiful to see a Texan in the chat. I mean, it's the greatest state in the country. I'll give you that. I'm not from Texas, but believe me, that's how great of a state it is that I'm not from there. And I know it's the best state in the country. And so please, if you want to grab David a membership, if you want to talk with David, if you want to give your thoughts and opinions, he's the nicest guy in the world. Believe me, he's the nicest guy in the world. He's given me plenty of opportunities, and I know he will to you as well. So please, please, please grab that membership if you can.
No, I really do appreciate it. And just quickly here, Ed, he says a lot of things I don't agree with David about, but man, he's entertainment. Yeah, look, Ed, even if you don't agree with me, you know what I mean? It's still nice to be able to read everybody's comments. You know, Sometimes you change my mind, sometimes you don't. But whether you agree with me or not, look, at least it's entertaining. I'll take that, my man. I really do appreciate that. Honestly, guys, you know, all these nice words about me, I'm not used to it. You know, it brings a tear to my eye. It's too much. But honestly, thank you so much to everybody. Honestly, you, the Harris Army, you're insane. Anybody else that has tuned in, make sure you have smashed a like on the stream, subscribe on the channel. When the video is finished, also get your comments in. Even if it's a hashtag leave you out, Enoch out, or hashtag, you know, Harris is the best ever, or whatever you want to put in there. You know, it all helps with the YouTube algorithm. Honestly, it's been insane. There has been someone that's asked for the final count on both channels before we end off. I think it's fair that we give it to them, considering we held them hostage. So let's get the final counts of both channels before we end off.
I'll do it. I see 480 still on Bob, and I know Paxton Road. Let's go. 327. 327. Big ups. Big ups. Top bin finish on Paxton Road. Top bin finish on the Harris Army there. Absolutely slotted.
It's been absolutely brilliant. You guys, not only do you make my dreams come true, you make everyone else's dreams come true. I really do appreciate everybody. That's the power of the Harris Army. You guys can go to bed happy knowing you have made 4 people's day, because even though Jack doesn't have his own channel, look at the smile on his face. Look how delighted he is with the likes of Bob and Shane.
Yeah,
you know, true legend. Honestly, thank you to the panel. You've made this show. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Fabulous.
But look, guys, we're going to sign off there now. Come on, you Spurs. Hashtag Harris Army. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's get it.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Harris Army.